So jumping back into this session, you're able to get get situated essentially. You haven't heard, huh?
Forgot about something for recap.
That's okay.
Nikolai shared the story with Ace and handed off Stevie's corpse or snake chain to Ace because they had a closer relationship, and then Ace said he needs time alone and walked away with Stevie.
So, some time has passed. You guys decide essentially when you guys start getting back to normal to get back together so you can get to those meetings that you have to get to. And you meet at the central house essentially. And Cayenne, you're there already. Nice, bright, early in the morning. Mongo, you come in. Scabbard, you come in, and then you guys see Nikolai walk in, and he has his he hasn't taken his jacket off from outside from the cold weather yet.
Did I summon anything in my sleep again?
Just bothering you, huh?
High or low? You come out and you sit down something on the table, and it's a got several bites taken out of it, and it's a Twinkie the size of a loaf of bread.
Giant Twinkie, huh? Alrighty.
And it smells fresh baked too. Yeah.
I kind of want to identify it just to see if it's maybe a measuring device of the ectoplasmic activity in the general area.
Make me start busting out the jokes. But this is the scene. You see that giant loaf that he comes walking out with, and a few bites taken out of it. Vanilla cream is oozing out of it.
Yellow sponge cake, giant Twinkie.
Are you summoning things again?
Twinkie this big. Big ass Twinkie.
Look, if we could all get a hold of a Twinkie that big, not a one of us would say no into taking it down.
I would.
I'm actually glad to hear that. It might take a couple of days, but we would all do it. And yes, it would appear so. Apparently, I have a sweet tooth.
2 sandwiches and now a cake.
Are you turning into a loofah?
Does she do that too?
You can't pull her out of any sweets or any candy shop ever. Ask Osling.
But to be
I'm pretty sure if you showed Osling a bonbon, or God forbid what some people like to call Tootsie Rolls, whatever they called it, I'm pretty sure if you showed any of those to Osling, you would see her grimace. I love
Maggie
sweets,
just
though.
looks over. Yeah.
Look, in all fairness, Alufa is a sweetie. So her being addicted to sweets kind of makes sense.
It's right on the nose. She looks like Alufa always did look like she was made of just pure sugar and happiness. Like,
Yeah.
even the first time we met her.
Maggie's like, I saw her kill a 3-tier cake on her own once.
Dang.
That's
I would
impressive.
believe that only because we know a fraction of what Alufa is capable of. And we just don't know the extent.
Well, she's a wizard, so has that.
And is from the Feywild.
True.
Which we still need to go there one day. I've only seen a little fraction of the Feywild
Do
during
have that
the
invitation.
party.
Figured I thought we were headed there after we get back from
Well, there's a few places
the
that we need to
realm,
go
realm of
to.
fire.
Like, there's not really an expiration per se to the invitation, but there's other places that we need to go to first.
We'll get to it eventually.
Yeah. And we also need to keep some parchment of written questions that we would like to ask, because remember, we get one each.
True.
Like, we each get one parchment or just one question?
One question.
One
Because depending on
question.
the size of the parchment and how small you write, that can be a lot of information.
From
One very
what-
long-winded question.
what I gather, it's just one question we're allowed to ask.
Ugh.
But each of us get to
What?
ask one question.
Oh, we're all gonna have to compare notes to make sure that we don't ask the same question.
That might be a good idea.
I would assume that we would be asking questions about our family. That's what I assumed, but assuming is wrong, so I still
Oh,
haven't
man.
decided on what I want to ask. I'm torn between asking if my mother was redeemed
Mhm.
after the bad that she did, or if my father was redeemed.
Been kind of just holding off on really making any questions because I don't know when we're going to go. We could go there in the next 5 minutes, and or it could be 50 years from now. Who knows?
True.
It's like dwelling too much on a question that you can't get an answer for, or too many questions that you can't get can't get answers for is
That's where
kind of counterproductive.
Well,
And
that's where
moving
we make
Mongo pulls out
a
a
list.
scroll.
We make a list that we can
Fucking
add
tell
to.
me about it.
Make a list that we can add to and put it in a safe space where we know where it is, that no one can find it.
Yeah.
Maggie
Except
looks
us.
over. I need to go somewhere, Nikolai. You're still wearing your jackets.
Hold outside.
You're inside.
It's not exactly cold in here, brother.
Cover your naked arms.
Ah, no. No, he's not. He's not that vain. It'd be a fun story. Yeah, just my arms are bare right now.
When you say bear,
You mean like
Maggie looks over.
furnace?
Was it grizzly?
Yeah.
bit polarizing.
It was
Unbearable,
an
even.
explosive situation.
The face.
Not using level 1 on the gun, or level 11 on the gun. Not using it unless you know, like.
I feel there's a
It's an
story here.
emergency.
Like maybe a few more details.
Oh yeah, sounds familiar to things I've said before. Anyways, how you guys doing today?
Yeah, very okay.
That's good. What?
I'm still processing what I know about somebody after our trip.
Do you think Osling's gonna respond?
Oh God.
Maggie reaches over, tears a piece off the cake, takes a bite of it. Good cake.
Yeah.
Put some butter on it.
Turkey with butter? Guess that could be good.
Dude,
Spray butter on a Twinkie is actually good.
what you do is you slice a piece of cake and then you have like really soft butter and you butter both sides and then you toast it in a pan on both sides a little bit
That could be tasty.
and then you just nom on it and you have that butter baked into it.
Especially if you do that with oh God. It's really good with red velvet. Cause I've done that. Cause it just goes so well with the cream cheese.
I just heard your stomach grumble.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
So yeah, back to the game as you guys were.
Oh, speaking of learning things.
What'd you learn?
Don't fuck with Sunny. Ever.
I mean, what happened?
Oh, she's fucking marvelous. Right. So yesterday, she basically kicks the door down and says, "We got to spend some time together." So hell yeah. Pops open the door. We shuffle over to the Magic City.
That's cool.
Some fucking uppity she-elf who couldn't be bothered to fucking train their fucking plant to not eat miniature feline folk got all offended when one of them tried to eat a miniature feline folk.
Oh.
I tried to
how's
be
it feel
polite.
for things to attempt to eat you?
Yeah, I tried to be polite, but once it started trying to dissolve me, I started aggressive negotiations, which apparently is the wrong thing to do in their eyes. Starts getting all kinds of condescending, which apparently is a trigger warning for Sunny. So she effectively takes the gloves off, gets into a wizard stool, and on the count of go, before that fucker could even whip out their wand, she encased them in a cube of lava.
Alrighty then.
And then yeets said cube out of the city.
Yeah.
Ah.
Let's not fuck with Mr. Sunny.
Question.
Why are we the ones going out on the adventuring?
Don't we already have an issue we have to deal with that pertains to the Magic City?
Yeah, we're just waiting for them to call us in for the trial.
Maggie's like,
Oh no, they already have their person here who's going to do said trial.
Yes, but you and Sunny went to the Magic City and you kinda... I don't know how wizard stuff works.
Maggie looks
Basic-
over.
Basically, wouldn't that be another thing that
Uh,
could
uh,
cause
uh,
trouble for
Diane.
us?
Diane, let me explain. If they were both consenting to the duel, it is a sanctioned duel, and therefore the outcome of the victor is the victor and the loser is the loser. That's where it ends. There are
Okay.
no repercussions from it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so if they die, they die.
Thank you for explaining.
Oh, it's generally frowned upon if they die, but severe injury is okay.
Okay,
They could live through
I'm
it.
I'm fine with that then. Knowing
Oh,
this
which,
now.
By the way, I've got to talk to Coin about something. She's been teaching Sunny some creative
Words?
uses of language. Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
You're gonna need to give me details, whether that be in written or private form, because I need to hear this.
Apparently anybody with ears like theirs is very.
Maggie looks up. Oh, she did. Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh.
The
Throw
yeah,
a
kind
hi
of
up.
point at certain kitchen utensils and yeah, yeah,
Oh,
that one.
Who?
Kai-
Hi.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Has Cayenne heard this term once in passing?
might have.
She does spend a lot of time with coin.
Yeah. And you get what he's putting down of what they said.
Oh. Mm. Well. Mm. Someone needs their mouth washed out with soap or vinegar, whichever. Soapy vinegar. There we go. Soapy vinegar.
Yeah, but considering she was doing it kind of to stick up for me, I can't really be too mad at her. In fact, watching it do it was actually really fucking impressive.
Maggie's in there. I don't know if she hurt more, the ego or the physical.
I'm not sure because the terminology that she used definitely fucking got under the skin, but then also the fact that they couldn't even get their wand out before they lost. That had to have hurt their pride.
Well, Sunny doesn't need a wand to cast spells, so
Yeah. She kind of used like just about all of her power in like those 2 shots because I mean she's fucking exhausted afterwards.
Yep.
She could barely fucking stand.
Mom had the same problem.
Perhaps that's why we're the ones doing the adventuring and she is not. Incredibly powerful. Can only do it so much. Something like that would definitely take a lot out of anyone, I think.
But I think that's one of the things that she's learning is how to, instead of just use all of it in once, just kind of use a little bit here and a little bit there. Moderation. Not the easiest thing.
So how are you doing, old man? Pops.
I'm waiting for the day
But you
when my trial is done and I'm executed.
Well, that's going to be a fucking while because
It's
the
never gonna
trial
happen.
part, that'll
happen in a few days. But you know, if somebody tries to execute you, they're going to have to come through at least 2 of us.
I would enjoy whisking someone away somewhere if they tried. I can think of many things that I could do.
Yeah, no, any attempted execution just to me kind of sounds more like signing up for
Their own?
trials.
So, don't you guys have a meeting?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a lot of ways to experiment. I mean, you want to find out just how like the range of that blasty tube thingy that you have.
I found that out.
Here to DM, who all has meetings right now? All of us?
I
You
thought we were
four,
waiting to go to the meeting.
yeah, you 4 have a meeting with Kippa,
Kippa.
and then you have to get a hold of Osling to have a meeting with her. She is not aware that she has a meeting with you guys yet.
Oh,
Yeah. I thought we were like either on our way or actively waiting. to be
No,
called in.
you're sitting at the breakfast table.
yeah.
Thought
Cayenne's
we-
probably been nibbling on like a bit of like good fruits and like granola right now as we're talking.
Try
Speaking
some
of
of the
which,
cake.
did I ever get the time to give to these ones about the meeting time? I don't think I ever got a meeting time.
Late morning.
Late morning. Okay. We should probably head out after breakfast, because we do have that meeting soonish.
Got nothing to do. I need to get more explosive powder.
Don't you still have a lot from, like, the stuff that you had that Cayenne's carrying?
That was the stuff that Cayenne was carrying.
Oh, so you are entirely out.
Yes.
Okay.
You couldn't manage to dig up one or two of those other
Should
cakes
feel
that didn't
so
get used?
uncomfortable.
The only
Talking
thing
to
left
myself.
that I have that was for Nikolai are like vials of
In the realm
powder,
of
and that's
fire,
it.
they have explosive sprites.
Yeah.
I got blowed up, and then we left. So, hey, wasn't there a way we can get a hold of that grung, or that powder? I seem to remember it's part of the conversation.
I don't know.
No, that wasn't part of the conversation, but
Well,
how
apparently
things.
we are going to be coming across them again because I need to put in an order for a spell that I already have.
And they already know that they're going to see us again soon. It was the last thing that
Oh, okay.
last
okay.
thing that Belle said.
It's like not hope we see each other again. We will see each other soon. Okay, maybe it's sooner
Yes.
than later.
Mhm.
because
Because
I need some more of that stuff.
Because I had ordered something when I was there, and because Cayenne doesn't understand like how things work in the astral sea at all, and the fact that she is an acquaintance of
Plume tree.
Plume Tree, Cayenne doesn't understand all of that stuff, and that's fine. She does not judge. It's just very confusing for her smooth horse brain.
Smooth horse brain.
I thought that was a loofah.
No, Alufa's
No,
much
she has
smarter now
unicorn
that
brain.
she's been returned to her full self. Cayenne's a little more smooth brained than her for the time being until she learns more things.
Okay. So you guys have the meeting to go to. You have to put in an order for gunpowder.
I figure, yeah.
Yes.
Go to the meeting, and then first place he'll go to, I guess, is probably Bowling Wall. See if they have any gunpowder
After the meeting?
after the meeting.
Okay. And the second meeting.
That one we'll have to set up when we're there. And it might be best if you do it, Cayenne.
Well, you could just set one up here by using the messenger service.
Or
Yeah,
the
and Cayenne was
stone
planning
that you
on
can use to
literally.
talk to her with.
Cayenne was just going to meet up with her in person and just be like, "You're coming with me." Just kind of I'm grabbing her arm and dragging her with me.
Oh boy.
Because, like, hey, you don't have a choice, ma'am. You're coming with me. It's like, you've done this to me before. It's my turn.
Oh no. Help! I'm being horse snapped. So you're heading. You guys are able to eat a full breakfast. Essentially, you're full of Twinkie at this point. You're like,
Yep.
I need something savory, and you see that there's cooked pork on the table, and probably just dragging the plate over to you.
Cayenne's being hearty about it. She's eating granola and assorted fruit.
Good
Scabbard,
solo breakfast
you
sandwich
eating
right now with sausage,
food
egg,
too?
and cheese.
Of course. Have breakfast. Then get ready and start heading up.
So breakfast goes by. You guys talk a little bit more about your days, and you head up to the noble courts essentially, and go to Kippa's private meeting room and head in.
Yep.
Good morning.
She nods. As you guys head in, the door closes behind you.
Yeah.
As to be expected.
So
Be kind of weird if it did.
I had to cancel my day off for this.
We'll try to be quick.
It is incredibly important and relevant to the events.
Don't
She-
worry, it's an explosive story.
She
Literally,
just glares in your direction. You're like,
Spare
Yeah.
spare certain
those-
bits of it, please.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't need to
that's a
bonk any
19
of
on
you.
the die for the intimidation.
look, to make
Should
a long
I actually try to roll against that, or am I just intimidated?
look to make a long story short, while dealing with a small issue that Lumion had helped us with, or we helped him with, we encountered one of the Horcruxes, and it has been destroyed.
Okay, start filling in all the details.
Okay, we went to a city that has no sense of humor.
Oh my god.
More of a tribal area.
Whatever.
To clarify what they're saying,
She pulls out a scroll and she
Lumi-
starts making notes.
Lumion, a long time ago, I was asking Lumion about more information on Osling's past, and it turns out that where we were teleported to Colum was part of her past. It's very primal there. A lot of the forest had effigies on the ground arranged in stones with runes and trinkets in the trees. Aside from that, it was ruled by a number of different, well, not ruled by, but the town was seemed to be located within distance of the Dwarven Empire, but the Dwarven Empire refuses to have anything to do with them because of a primal force at work there. Essentially, these beings worship someone named Nevea. Also, player to DM is Osling here.
She is not, it's just you four.
Okay. I know that we will have to have a separate meeting with Osling, as if you could put two and two together, like we know Nevea is Osling and Osling is Nevea, although they didn't see Nevea as how me and Osling actually are. She was
As
viewed differently.
a word of the wise, I recommend you bring Fok along for that.
I plan
Probably
on
not
it
right. Probably not wrong
because
then.
we haven't breathed a word of this to Osling, and I don't know if she knows at all.
The information regarding your sister is now understandably a reason as to why it's so hard to track down. Is scarce. Because there is probably no records of your sister as the environment she came from. The only record is what you currently have brought back and those that she have spoken literally nothing of.
Yeah. The worst part was that the tribal leader was approached by those red cloaks we have dealt with before.
Part of the evil clones entourage, I guess, yeah.
So
They
that fills in one of my theories that they're actually seeking out those that worship death gods for bolstering their abilities.
yes.
Yeah, probably.
So the red cloak was completely disintegrated in the battle that ensued after the meeting with the elder,
Damn shit.
but it wasn't without some injuries that have all been but dealt with,
Well,
Um,
mostly.
mostly.
Still good stuff, but it's
But we did get answers on some things, and that village did not seem evil whatsoever. They're all about truth and they're all about purity, but they're not about violence and hurting other people.
Yeah, we're not prepared. It was pure luck and happenstance that I had the right equipment and the right chances for things to go off properly the way they did, that we were able to destroy that thing.
The
Yeah.
Horcrux itself fought back.
They do that, Scabbard.
Yeah, most things don't like being
It-
destroyed.
No.
Did it at first, and my presumption is that it figured that its minions outside were going to handle the situation.
From what I understand of speaking to those that understand the necromantic ways and my own research, the fragments of a crux essentially are a representation, more or less, of a piece of the person themselves. So it probably disregarded you in its arrogance at first. And in that sense, they're probably aware that one of their fragments has been destroyed out there in anger. Think of it as a tent for a circus, the main tent. You've severed one of the strings that hold it in place.
I hope that asshole saw who was coming for it. I was in that thing's face the whole time.
Well, they do unfortunately work somewhat independently. But now you have a idea of what you're against and you know how to prepare for it.
We know
I'm
that
just gonna
preparation is
say-
needed. How? Don't know yet.
I'm
Oh,
going
I'm
to
sure
say
they
this
have
now
something.
while we're in this meeting. I have no problem being the one to do most of the fighting with the bulk away from the crux if anyone else who's more heavy hitting with their magical abilities than me to take out the crux working together. I have
a
no
few
problem.
ideas.
Well, Cayenne, you do have your shape-shifting abilities, which do bolster your health.
I do, but I did pretty good this last time around taking out as many people as I did and, well, tried to. I
Was there
missed one.
anything else outside of the combat you guys learned of? And of course, the information regarding Osling.
Just that Osling is revered as the goddess of death and
Asada.
as well as cold still winter and getting revenge on those that did wrongs to you.
Hmm.
That her testament, as they said, was spread through the blood left on the corpses laid in her wake.
Part of our infiltration involved me looking through my homunculus's eyes to try to get target on the thing so that we could use Nigel crush and blow, instantaneous crush and blow. And before it got too close to the tent, it got crushed. Like just instantly crushed, destroyed. And I took it upon myself to become that targeting point, and using my machine, which I still have to check to see if it's even working now. I charged in and through some divine intervention was protected from being crushed. So that's about the only thing that was really noticeable to me. Once I got out of the machine, wasn't being crushed anymore.
Speaking of divine interventions, maybe a little upset. Was forced to call upon the deity of that region, Nevaeh. And my life is now cut in half. was unnecessary
What?
at the time, though.
Half?
Yeah. His lifespan is like cut in half now. No, it's a quarter. A quarter. It's been cut into a quarter.
So you have 1/4 left, or you have 3/4 left.
It's 3/4 left. No idea how long it actually is, though.
We never should have let him.
But it was necessary in order to be able to do what we had to do.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know it was that necessary.
You were in danger. Cayenne was in great danger. Mongo was getting ready to be in big danger, and I didn't know what else to do.
Religious types, I don't get them.
But
I'm gonna have to understand one day.
strangely, you would think it would have been effective. Whatever celestial abilities that were in play there didn't seem to be affecting this Horcrux as much as it should have.
Well, cruxes are unique, Scabbard. They're the epitome and the pinnacle of necrotic magic. You're putting your soul on a slab and slicing it into pieces to preserve yourself. I'm aware of the trial that you had to take part in. I am not happy about it, because you did. Now I have to have people executed that wouldn't be executed otherwise, and we can't use them for information.
What'd you do?
I was approached by one of the envoys of Bahamut to prove my loyalty, and I had to perform a trial upon an individual. In order to
But-
do so, there was information that was learned, information that would have been, well, would have honestly been useful for us to use, but at the same time was also necessary to accomplish what needed to be done.
So what did you do?
It's not of importance. Don't write about it. Just know that I have to do my work, and unfortunately, there are now strings I can't pull.
Any way we can get them to have a conversation on their way?
I will state this. I know that it is probably not necessary, but if you don't want to worry your hands about the unsavory bits, please let me or Lumion know.
I have
We'll
agents that
we'll
will
help.
handle questioning and the removal of certain people. But I can't use them in a long play now. I have to use them in the short term. Perhaps they might lead to other strings that I can pull. But this is my business, not yours.
Kippa, there may still be a way that you can still use them. Osleen may be able to help with that. She is able to speak with the dead and actually gain information.
You have to speak to Osley now regarding something else.
But
And
Scab,
have fought
if they're
here.
dead, we can't use them to then go acquire other information that they don't already have.
That is true.
Yes, I will be upfront. I do employ evil people as contacts, but remotely to get the information I need from them. It's how information brokering works. I have
Yep.
to deal with evil and good at the same time.
Speaking of brokering information, no doubt the mustachioed one is going to be asking around about what happened to their little Tupperware.
The storage container.
You actually see her crack an ever so slight smile at this before dismissing it.
Now, you said that they are somewhat autonomous. So Nikolai's message might not have gone through. Perhaps, if certain individuals are willing to help out, spreading a alternative version of what happened
you
might be beneficial.
you see her pull out a what looks like a black parchment, right? And then she pulls out a quill and she writes on it. And as she finishes writing it, you see this like almost like mist just form into someone, and she hands the scroll to them, and they disappear into the thin of air.
Also,
Those are
one
new.
of the Lumions that Cayenne met.
You don't know what the hell that was.
That looked familiar to me, having met Lumian's shadows.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, no idea what that was then.
Like I said, that's new, Kippa.
It's one of my agents.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Need to learn how to do that.
I still think there's a possible benefit in not doing too much cloak and dagger shit.
Well, I was just thinking, and I've been chewing on this one for a bit now. The Mustachioed Menace basically beat the original Obscura effectively by information.
Uh-huh.
Learned all their strengths, all their weaknesses, knew exactly what to do and when.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't exactly been keeping a low fucking profile, so it's safe to assume he already knows we're running about.
It's true.
So, since we can't conceal that any longer, the least we can do is try to conceal what we can do. So now, if we let a few stories run around that are a little less than 100% accurate,
Mm-hmm.
like perhaps the
Kippa
destruction
crosses her arms
of...
a little bit, and you don't think I've already been spreading this.
I'm happy to hear that. Whoever created the new crater in
Call
so that's it. The place that sounds like a sick hobbit coughing. Halfling, sorry. If we chalk that up to a different group,
I have to deal with information. That's what I do. So I've already been doing things that you are not aware of. Spreading stories, misguiding, making sure people don't speak to things, or they do speak to things, or speak to the wrong people.
Mm.
I'm usually working most of the day, and I rarely ever get a day off. So keep doing what you do and keep preparing, and then go forward. Now I have other things to research, but it's something I enjoy.
So it's probably nothing that anybody's going to be. I'm just going to bring it up in case you care about it. I think the only thing that kept me alive during that was one spell I learned. Very difficult to use. But should you come upon, some information on how to bottle that, let me know, okay?
cough, cough.
It's called alcohol.
It's called liquid courage, my brother.
No.
My little crazy friend there.
Because apparently the things that I research you don't know shit about.
You haven't shared with me anything yet.
Scabbard,
Yes.
within the next coming days, what marriage is drawing close. So is the trial. Trial more so close than anything. There will be a guest for you to speak to.
A guest. Any information? Or is that just all
Really?
very cloak and dagger as well?
It's specifically battlesmith.
You'll be getting to meet them.
Is
It's
it
not a
useful?
wizard. It's not
Yeah.
a wizard.
Okay.
Um,
Bards and paladins are the only ones. Rules.
On a
is
side
written.
note, I know you like stories. The place we were at was very interesting.
Oh yeah, they don't like the one he likes.
They don't like any other gods other than Nevea.
Well, there are plenty of places that they have their gods that they worship, and others are forsaken. Other gods don't hold
Sway, power.
sway there, a foothold there. Most notably, the one is, Victor in the realm of dread.
Oh, your old pen pal.
It gods literally, it's an abandoned place. Gods don't hold any power there. Deities don't have say there. If the within a scripture that I've read and tellings from people that, for example, if your god speaks to you, it is likely Victor wearing a mask.
Huh.
Tread lightly there in praying to your deity.
Huh. Interesting.
But there are places that where certain deities are weaker. However, if someone is strong enough in faith, according to those that I've spoken to, they can
They can still show up. Yeah.
mitigate that weakness.
Like I said, because of some divine intervention, I saw both Nevea, I think, and Carl kind of like duel each other to help me. So they were both there.
I find it interesting the way you each speak of gods and deities and such in your interactions. Not something I will ever share with any of you, as you know, I can't speak to any.
That's kind of rude.
It's odd to reach out to deities and pray, or even attempt to pray to certain deities. Nobody responds back.
You know, I may be able to help with that. More or less as like a anchor of some sort.
I wouldn't try that, Scabbard. I tried that with what I think you're trying to do with a cleric of the sun, and didn't end very well for them.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Well, it's like you said, you can read people, so maybe that's why. Maybe they won't let you read them. They can't let you have secrets. It's kind of terrible, I guess.
Eh,
Lived my entire life not believing them until they showed up.
Well, I do get to interact with the gods in a way, but it's not a first-hand experience. I don't get to feel their warmth or coldness that you get to. Well, that's wrong. I actually get to feel the coldness plenty because none of them will speak to me or return my prayers.
Remember that perhaps gods don't have to speak to you to help you.
Well, that's understandable, but it would be interesting to hear something back. In fact, I actually got a hold of one of the clerics that actually worshiped the god of information because, well, look who I am. And they sent me a scroll back and said no.
That was it.
Just no.
You'd think you would be right up their alley.
Again, Forsaken. I'm not upset by it. I'm just fairly curious about it, is all.
Interesting question. Is it kind of widely known that your fuzzy selves, you folks, and all others like you, are all forsaken?
Well, it's a strange thing. It's like my parents could speak to deities. But
Okay, so it's just you.
that they don't acknowledge the heritage that we have. I do.
Oh.
Perhaps it stems with the fact that you're more closely tied to what you are than they are.
Yeah, she just said that.
But much stronger bond to what you are than.
Oh, I'm fully aware of what I am, Scabbard.
You're my sister-in-law and you're cute and fuzzy.
She just kind of smiles a little bit at that.
I may have another idea. Going back to something that you said earlier. It's not the best idea. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's a very bad one. Really, really bad one. Arguably the most reckless one yet.
Oh, just get on with it, brother.
Well, you said that the Red Cloaks are seeking out the aid of other deities over the domain of death.
Generally, yes.
And we need to get a hold of one of them.
Yes.
So instead of going looking for them, why don't we try to drag one of them to us?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, you would
Exactly.
Start a
like
couple
I
of
said.
rumors around a certain area that there happens to be a unnamed deity that is willing to negotiate.
The problem is they're seeking out very old ones that are very established. How did they find the one that you guys went to? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think Lomian has any idea.
The
either,
interesting
because he told us, like, we have to
tidbit
go.
is that they actually tried to reach out to Victor von Strahd. The Red Cloak did not make it out alive, from what the stories say.
Well, maybe it was still just hurt that he lost his favorite pen pal. Just saying. Spread the right rumor in the right place
Yeah.
can spark a bit of interest in certain individuals.
Suppose so.
And then when a Red Cloak comes a knocking, we start asking the questions.
I'll consider it, but the dangers came.
That is. Because we accidentally say that we set up a temple and so somebody's.
Look,
Goats don't have much of a sense of humor. Well, not all of them. My favorite auntie has a great sense of humor. She's
Diane.
wonderful.
can you verify that? With the goblins absolutely loving you?
And the fact that they sing what are called carols of me in the winter, and they actually have a statue commemorating me with handprints all over it, and they're becoming smarter and actually doing good by their own people because apparently I'm very generous. I'm the god of generosity.
They don't know you very well.
Diane is
Well,
very generous.
She's
I
generous in
am.
making sure not to
I
hurt you.
Well, not to kill.
Although I'm very brash and very abrasive when I need to be to make sure the moral sticks. Make sure those words stick so I don't have to reteach and reteach and reteach every time when the same shit happens.
I'm sure all three of us called out by that.
Although I am brash, I try to do my best to help those that I know that need it. I
We
mean,
know.
although half of my life was taken by helping what I assumed was a misfortunate child with their animal. I try to be as generous as I can. I shouldn't keep everything that I have when there's people who are less fortunate than me.
So when a god gives up half their life, how do you give up half of infinite?
It just becomes represented by a circle as opposed to two circles.
Oh.
At least she chuckled. You're just glaring at me.
Oh God.
So, I have things to research now.
Yeah.
I'll probably hear back within an hour regarding the curiosities that I have.
So, yeah, that was our fun. I just hope that we're able to be prepared for the next time, because the only hope I have is that we weren't prepared this time and we still pulled it off.
Well, it sounds like you walked into essentially a large scale mess and kind of had to fight your way out of the satchel.
I guess. Yeah.
I heard about your adventure within the Magic City. I have a complaint filed from an high elf regarding your sister.
Okay, first of all, she got what she fucking deserved. And hopefully her and her familia learned a very valuable lesson. If anything, it was a learning experience.
Is that Munchkin Feely folk have very foul mouths?
You don't say.
She
Let's say creative language skills.
she she takes the note scroll and puts it away, and she pulls out another one. She looks at it. Uh-huh.
Certain points were trying to be made.
You're not a high elf, you're a mud elf.
Okay, look.
I mean, that
We-
doesn't sound too bad. That just sounds like being offensive.
High elves really don't have a fucking sense of humor.
Need I say the big one on the list?
Yeah, look,
Calling
I already told Sunny that it's not the best.
your
Use of-
sister that I will be having a discussion with called a high elf, knife ears, and a dark elf.
That's funny.
I really don't like that. Oh,
That's good to know.
But
Yeah.
deserved.
Wait, look. Their ego need to be put in check, okay? And also, she was doing it to defend me. Their fucking plant tried to eat me.
Oh, I have all the information, Longo. From the city guard
Yeah.
and the magistrate. All the trouble each of you get into comes back to me.
I thought you said it was a sanctioned duel, a protected one.
It was. It's just-
Scabbard.
usually there has to be some sort of incident in order to actually, start the duel.
So, just because it was a sanctioned duel doesn't stop the high elf from filing a formal complaint.
So they just have poor sportsmanship.
Yeah, they're probably filing it only because they fucking lost.
I deal with plenty of high elves. I tell you, it's quite amusing when you have a moon elf, a high elf, and a dwarf in the same room.
Oh,
Alright.
I'm sure they've hurled all kinds of fun insults at each other.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'm also going to be talking to the one that taught Sunny those.
So, here's an interesting thing that I
Yeah.
found out about dwarfs and dwarves in general. Dwarfs and dwarves, there's...
Yeah.
Right.
One's a society, or they're both just a division of society.
The interesting thing about them, I discovered a very interesting insult that they do not like.
Ooh, do share.
And this came from the high elf. So we were having a noble dinner to discuss things politically, and things got a little heated as far as the phrasing goes between them. And the dwarf hauled off and said, "That's it." Well, the high elf, having dealt with dwarves before, took that as a challenge and tipped over a salt shaker and then poured the ale out on the floor.
Right. Salt shaker. Ale.
Salt is important in dwarven society because they work with stone and it's a form of stone to them. So spilling a precious resource is one insult, but also taking a shot at their craftsmanship is another. As the ale that was spilled on the floor was brought to the table from them as a breaking of bread.
Oh.
I wonder how they would feel.
Also,
How they would
dwarves
feel
really do
if
like spicy food as well.
You know.
wonder how they would feel if I took their ale, left it room temperature, poured it in a dog bowl, and scooted it to them with a hoof.
Look,
Drink.
I'm just wondering what their reaction would be if somebody were to, say, yeet the salt shaker into their face.
look, let's not go picking fights where we don't need to pick fights.
Oh, well, look, eventually we're going to need to pick a fight for some fucking reason or another.
Dwarves are very good people.
Agreed.
Dwarves are hard to deal with.
All the more reason they don't deserve my respect. Ever.
Again, I do really actually enjoy their cuisine.
I'll agree, their
Okay.
cuisine is good.
Ugh.
So
They're
we
just
had
not good people.
a unique meal. It was
You're gonna make me hungry again, aren't you?
lamb ribs that had some sort of spicy paste on it that was slow roasted over hot coals.
See, that actually sounds good. Now, if I could find some lamb that doesn't, taste like socks, that'd be great.
Don't worry, it's just gonna start singing to you.
No. No, legit. Like, to the viewers watching, this is a quick side note. To the viewers watching, if you've ever been curious about lamb meat, don't get spring lamb. It's hit and miss on how gamey it is. That's all I gotta say.
The same could be said about bison. Certain bison could be a lot more gamey than other
Yes.
bison.
Yes, I will agree on that.
But a Guinness bison shepherd's pie?
Yes.
Just yes.
Yes.
So, Kippo looks over to you. Are you okay, Nikolai?
Yeah, just
Where the fuck is
was
the shepherd's
already
pie?
just was
It's not
already
fall.
kind of trying to figure out like what we need to do to prepare, and I guess the fact to know that anything that we were preparing for was way off the mark is good news. But still, I do not know what to do to be able to prepare for these things.
Nikolai, if it's anything I've learned about you for, it's you plan on the fly and you figure it out as you go.
So the only thing that is giving me hope that we'll figure it out is that we did go into this completely unprepared.
You also are
And we
going to
did
be
survive.
leaving town soon to go take care of a certain dryad problem.
You know.
Oh, yeah, no, I've got a couple of ideas for that.
Again, Cayenne is on the lead for that.
I'm in agreement with Cayenne's method of doing this diplomatically as possible.
That's why I'm trying to make the thing. Do did you forget that I got all that holy water from you?
Yeah, that's all. I'm just
I mean, I don't
lost
even know
in
if it's
thought.
gonna work, but I mean, fuck it. We might as well give it a shot.
Well, yeah, you guys can scoot on out of here, and I will start taking care of things that I need to take care of. Because I'm sure you have things to attend to.
And Cayenne is going to go grab Fott so they can have a meeting with Osling.
You're gonna want to do this right away, Cayenne, or later
Yeah.
on today.
The sooner the better.
All right, I'll hang out then instead of going to.
I can do this myself too. I don't have to have everyone here because I'm just breaking the news to her of what we found out. I don't need protection from my own sister.
It's
I
your
would
call on that.
recommend that you guys do it together since you are all involved. So, get going.
Yep. Get up on the way out the door. Give Kippa a hug.
She gets up, gives you a hug.
You ever need a research buddy? You know where I'm at.
I will let you know.
And we need a girls' day. We
She
need a
is just
spa
fine.
day. We need a spa day.
I haven't had a day off in a month.
I think it would be great to get all the ladies together and us just have like a tea party and just makeovers and stuff. I think that would just be fun and relaxing.
That is odd hearing that coming from you.
Hey, guys have their own things, girls have their own things. You have no right to judge.
That's fair. It's just odd because that doesn't sound like you at all.
I just hear cannons being fired off across the table.
God.
It's like,
Look,
what did
every
you do
now
with
and
my
again, you got to
sister?
clean the mud out. If we could get one to go through there, trust me, we would have already.
Don't you gotta take another flea dip?
You know damn well. With somebody covered in scales, you think you could sing better?
What technically wouldn't Scav need to get like the same kind of treatment that reptiles get, like to treat for mites?
Yeah, more or less.
I wonder that. And it's this, it would be like Cayenne and Osling would have to have worming treatment. So would Mongo, so would Nikolai, so would Sunny, so would Maggie.
Well, I think you'll just visit the temple and just get a restoration.
Yep.
Yeah.
All around vet care.
The best vet care. Your
Yeah.
local temple.
So,
Brings a very interesting question. Do tabaxis need doctors or do they need veterinarians?
In this world,
I
is there a
mean,
difference?
I mean, Cayenne has to have a farrier, so she's got to get her hooves trimmed and primmed and propered.
So
Oh.
Cayenne, you want to?
If an enemy wants to really hurt Cayenne, what they do is take a really big hammer and smash her hooves.
Oh,
Yes. Fun fact, there is no way of fixing a broken leg on a horse except euthanasia.
that doesn't fix the problem. It just gets rid.
I mean,
No,
if
there's-
no more person,
there's-
there's no more problem.
No,
Yeah.
there's legitimately no way to fix a horse's broken leg.
Yeah.
Because a horse's legs are so delicate compared to their body mass, it
Yeah.
basically shatters.
so you guys head out.
So
Yeah.
no cyborg centaurs?
It would be really interesting to see someone play a Warforged centaur. It's just like a multi-legged centaur machine.
I had thought that, but unicorn.
Tank treads.
Dangerous.
So Cayenne, you want to talk to your sister about the situation by yourself?
It's
huh?
not talking to her about the situation, it's literally laying it out in front. Hey, this is who you are. This is who worships you. This is
Mhm.
what they know about you. What haven't you been telling me?
Yeah,
No, I'm being blunt and to the point.
Yeah.
I want to see how she's going to react to this because at this point I'm a little more experienced with what our bloodline is than she is because
Yeah.
I don't even know if she knows this history or not.
Yeah.
So
I was
you
I
say
was
goodbye
expect
to Kippa.
A hug and a kiss and a hey, we need to go and do something someday. So we're gonna figure out how to give you a day off.
Her day off is just turned into full work day.
Well, maybe if someone would stop fucking up her orders, might have a day off. She did have a
You-
day off today, but she said because of this, can't have a day off.
Well, it's also the
Oh.
meeting too.
Thanksgiving and
if
shit.
if Kip is able to have a girls' day, Bellis is voluntold to be there.
Voluntold.
Yep.
Everybody is voluntold. Okay. So, you head out. We can. Oh my god.
I know Kippa said we should probably go together, but I'm gonna respect Cayenne's wishes and not do that.
Well, it would just be essentially Cayenne's just going to grab Fought and Osling and having them meet back up here is essentially what it is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you're gonna go kidnap Fought.
How long ago has it been since Nikolai last saw Ace?
When you handed it over.
Which was
Last day.
yesterday. I haven't
Yeah.
seen him since yesterday. Alrighty.
Yeah, I remember you saying it's been a few days since the last of what they did.
It's been a day. So yesterday, essentially, you guys have been your separate ways for an entire day.
Okay.
So, you guys are going with Cayenne to give Fought.
Yep.
And Fought is, of course, at the temple, and you hear him passively talking to the head priestess at the temple, and it's kind of like almost like a bickering on certain things should be done.
I'm gonna wait until they're done because I've seen her
Yep.
angry.
Yeah. No.
And you hear as you go in, the she gets the last tail end of it, and she's like, "And how many gods does it take to put you back together?" And
Bot
Fought-
could actually answer that.
Fought's like, huh.
I think
Yeah.
Cayenne would whisper inwardly, "Just this one if you fucking touch him."
Fought's like, Fought's lucky. He's got guests. She's like, walk away now. And Fought's like, just oblivious to the danger that he walked away from.
Do you just hear as he's making his way over?
He comes walking over, his little feet flopping, his ears just kind of bouncing a little bit.
Hello,
Bot!
He
My
looks over
brother.
at you. Nikolai, how's your arms doing? He goes over and he sniffs your arm. Oh, that's fishy.
They're healing up well, thank you.
You got your fingies back. He
Do I?
moves your digits.
Yeah.
Ah, whole again.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know how you deal with this.
Hole again just looks waxed.
Mongo.
Bot.
He pulls out, so when he pulls the cork off, and you see some like green smoke come around the cork as he pulls it off. And he pulls out a small little, like what looks like a shot glass, and he goes to pour it,
Whiskers.
what color green?
like an
Is
off
there a good color green for this?
Beetlejuice green.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
If we learn anything that's lime green in color typically means that it involves an evil villain.
So he just goes and he pours it, and you just kind of see the
Oh.
liquid come out, and it just
Oh no! No!
Is it liquid or is it chewable?
and he's like,
Is it as viscous as Nickelodeon slime?
it's like a globule of like oil that hasn't been changed out of car in 10,000 miles.
Nope.
Oh, I was hungry. Now I'm not.
And he
Poor
Ew.
car.
and he sits down on the ground and he pulls something out and he pours it back out and he pokes it. It just pops and just splashes all over the floor and into the cup.
Ew.
I made drink. He holds it out to you, Mongo, and you can see like just various particulates floating on the top of this, like an oil slick.
Oh no.
And he's like, I made this drink with love for you.
Oh fuck. That
And
was
he-
so sweet. You did not need to do that.
Drink up.
Oh fuck.
Oh,
Oh.
The Constitution.
There's no way I could just like. Oh.
Would you do that to Fought?
I. What might not ever forgive me. In...
do you want someone to share in your pain?
Yep.
Yep.
I will volunteer myself if it's allowed,
Yeah.
so
can
you
go
can,
over and
so I can share.
he gives you a little bit too, and you look at it. You can see the particulates floating on the top, and you're like, oh no.
Oh, this isn't the worst thing. This is Cayenne is not saying this outwardly. This is not the worst. This is her psyching herself up silently. This is not the worst thing I have drank. This is not the worst thing I have drank. This is not the worst thing I have drank.
Roll a
Or
con and throw
eaten.
it back, both of you.
Oh,
Modified 20.
Oh,
I'll
nice.
tell. I'll take that 16.
You guys throw it back, and you're expecting the worst,
My shoulder.
and
I fucking heard that. over
there's
here.
no taste to it at first, and then it tastes like fresh strawberries, and then it tastes like pure cotton candy.
It's like it's like those houses that look absolutely horrible and dilapidated on the outside, and then you go inside and it looks like a completely spotless mansion. It's a trick.
Okay, that is not what I was expecting.
That's actually this is actually really good fought. What is this? What do you
Fought.
call this?
I call it Fott's juice.
Fought juice.
Hot juice, huh? Alrighty.
Oh
I'll
God,
take
isn't
that.
there a spray called fart juice actually?
When you turn your head, Cayenne, the entire thing feels like it's in slow motion, like you're dropping frames in real life.
Oh, no. Wait a minute. So this is like high alcohol. This is almost like moonshine on crack.
Yeah,
Oh no.
Or is it moonshine with crack?
and the weirdly enough, the aftertaste of it is like a candied apple.
That would actually be a good combination of flavors. Strawberry, candied apple, cotton
But you're
candy.
seeing like a little bit of like jittering as you're turning your head a little bit to look at the cup, like, oh.
Oh fuck.
And you guys see their response to the drink.
Eat. So is it good?
Oh, it is not what you're expecting. You
right.
should try some.
May I fight?
But
I don't suppose you have the recipe, do you?
Pot's like, he pulls out something and you don't. It looks like questionable parchment, and he hands it to you.
I'm fucking hammered right now. So.
And then you can. It's almost like it's like that weird early version of 3D where letters are floating off and back and forth a little bit as you're looking at it.
Oh, I don't think I can. Thank you, Paul. You're
And
fucking
I need you to
wonderful.
roll a Constitution as he pours you some. What about you, Scav?
I'll do it.
Killing me, kitty.
I
Killing me,
mean,
kitty.
Scav should be okay since this is like high proof.
You don't know what he made with it, what he made it out of.
True.
Any of his paladin abilities may not work.
All right, and this is Constitution, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. People around me also get that +3.
22 for myself.
22. You throw it back. You're having like a few, like a little bit of lag, like he has, but it's nowhere near as bad as Cayenne.
Now I'm wondering how that meeting's gonna go.
That is a modified 20.
Modified 20, you're getting the same effect. Like, what the shit?
Ooh.
Could you imagine if we rolled low on this?
That'd be hilarious.
Bob puts the cork back on.
You
Oh,
totally need the
fast.
low roll on high quality.
He pulls
alcohol
out the,
something just to
cork,
confuse the whole
again,
concept.
and he goes, like that, and you see the liquid that spilled out just go back into the container, and he closes the lid and seals it.
That's actually really cool.
In your hand is like showing like trails to it.
Did I just fucking see what I think I saw?
What you think? What you think you saw?
I think I just saw some of the liquid go back in. Like a reverse pour.
Oh fuck!
And it almost feels like you guys have like a zoot zoot band in your stomach with a little thump 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 thump.
Oh no, I felt that in real life one time when
That's how
Somebody-
that's how I felt when my stomach kept turning and I couldn't really eat a while ago.
well, a bunch of my friends that I used to hang out with, we'd basically get together for the sake of drinking, and somebody in their ever-loving brilliance of their youth
Fuck.
decided to bring a fucking bottle of Everclear.
You know what you do?
Oh, that's
you know,
fun.
You know how you make enemies? You pour 50% Everclear and 50% tequila,
You could fuck off that evil shit right there.
and then if you want to really put the cherry on the top, you put some Corona, not Corona.
What, Mad Dog in there
no.
too?
No, Crown Royale at the top.
Oh, you, fuck, what can I throw at
What the
you?
fuck?
What the fuck is that? No.
The look
not
on your
okay.
face is like, no. So Fot's like, did you just come to have drinks with Fot?
I think I
We
am.
actually came for
Kai-
something very important that we need your help with.
It's for Cayenne.
Cayenne is holding her head
Who? Right.
and keeping her eyes closed because things are moving. We need you at a meeting with Osling because it requires your expertise, and I don't know how Osling is going to react to said news, so we might need further assistance.
Well, no matter how bad she reacts, I'm pretty sure we can get her drunk. It might help take the edge off.
You gotta find spicy stuff. She likes her spicy stuff. Spicy and acidic, I believe is what it was. Spicy and acidic.
No, I could make one of the.
Oh my God, that
Spicy sour apple drink.
That actually sounds absolutely terrible. I'm sorry.
I can make a coffee for
A
her.
warhead that's got capsaicin crystals on it.
Fuck off. And you want to fucking call me evil?
Warheads extreme with extra malic acid and capsaicin rolled in vinegar.
They actually have new candy out that's more like sour than warheads, by far.
What's it called?
I don't know. I had to look it up.
I know you showed me the sour challenge,
Yeah, there's that too.
the sour chip challenge.
That was the salt chip challenge.
Yep, that one.
So, Fot's like, okay, well, Fot's at your service.
No, you're not, Fot. You are here to help us should you feel the desire to do so. You are not in anybody's service.
Has Fought been fired?
No,
No.
No, of course not.
just saying you're
Far
not
worse
in
than being
everybody's
fired.
service.
We view you as family.
You are family to us, although you do work alongside us. That's the correct way to view it.
Fought works alongside everyone. Fought is a cleric. So you're gonna drag Fought off as
Speaking of clerics, get Noodle too. If he's sober.
oddly enough, Noodles kind of disappeared about the same time as you wouldn't know it, but the same time as Ace has disappeared.
Oh. Noodle may be
I-
helping Ace through.
I think what Cayenne might do if they have time is just in case she might grab one of the birds that's not fucking purple to come with us. I don't want to encounter an angry Osling without being prepared. Just in case. Gonna need some backup.
Well, you got the family to back you up, so.
Yeah, that's true.
And you guys will be probably after the meeting heading off to Orella to get rid of it, pick something up.
Yep.
Yes, I have got to get purple completely incapacitated.
Speaking of that little shit, I still gotta find a proper owner for this book.
You can probably identify it. Find out who it is.
Could probably take it to the Magic City too.
Weren't you just there? Why didn't you?
Purple got it from here, which stands to
That's-
reason they're still probably kicking around here or somewhere close to here.
True.
Take it by Pulse. She might know.
True.
Okay, so you're gonna go find Oslane.
Yes.
She's not too hard to find. She's either working in the courts or hanging out with the loofah.
Should
I-
we make
I
sure
figure-
Alufa's there too, just in case she needs some more support?
And this would be important for Alufa to know regardless. Which Alufa would find out regardless
Yeah.
of if they're not.
She's gonna find out
Cayenne?
one way or the other anyway.
You would be able to use Lumion's people to find him rather quickly.
I think I'll probably do that as we're along the way, because I think that would be a smarter idea, actually.
Do a perception, each of you, if you want. I mean, it's at disadvantage because you're a little bit
Hammered.
inebriated.
Really? I thought 22. Okay. Pretty strong
Dude, we're
shit.
seeing tracing.
Yeah, and I haven't thought to banish it
This
from my body.
Disadvantage for me is a 6.
Oh,
My advantage was not much better.
You said
Eh?
investigation?
yeah,
Investigation or
perception.
perception?
Perception.
23.
18.
19.
Wow.
Nice.
Cayenne, as you're walking, you feel like you're getting drunker as you go on.
Mm, I need an upper.
And what you guys see is actually something that's kind of curious. You've never noticed this detail about Fought, but he constantly looks around at the ground, and every time there's like a bug, he'll walk around the bug, or like a bird or something like that. Stop and like see an animal and just leave some food laying on the ground for them, and just carries on.
That's cool.
But any reason as particular as to why you're walking around all the things?
What?
I noticed that you're walking around the bugs and birds and such.
Well, they deserve space too.
True, true.
Yeah, it's like probably not to step on them. Like,
And it's winter time, and they need food.
True.
This is true.
Cayenne, you've reached the point of drunk where you're having pop-ins. It's like playing a video game and objects just randomly pop into existence.
Oh,
Dang.
I'm pretty sure at some point Cayenne's either swinging a hand like she's swatting a fly, or kicking a hoof, or swatting a tail.
Yeah,
Cayenne, are you okay?
I don't like this no more.
May I?
I think that
I'm
was
gonna
it.
take that as a yes. I'm gonna place a hand on her side gently, and I'm gonna go ahead and use some of my lay on hands and get rid of her inebriation.
Suddenly, you're smacked with soberness.
Salted with soberness.
No more random things in my field of sight, please.
The pot looks up. First time.
That's the strongest drink I've had in a long time, and I went to, what, 81 different taverns in one night?
How did you and your liver survive?
Probably the
I'm
same
part
thing,
horse. My liver's huge, and I have 2 stomachs.
And both were probably filled with alcohol.
If coin had anything to do with it, yes.
Does anybody
it
else
was
need a
coin.
little bit of help?
It was coin, and it was pulse. That had something to do with it.
Nikolai, Mongo.
Fine.
No, I'm enjoying this.
Okay. It's not too bad.
It hit me harder than it did y'all. I had random things popping into my field of sight.
I can tell.
I've just felt like I was getting even more drunk as time went on.
Pot's like, that's the secret. It keeps getting you more drunk for 24 hours.
Oh shit. Did Pulse teach you how to make this by any chance?
Nope.
Your own creation.
Just kind of came to me.
That's pretty cool.
Thought next time that you make like a big batch of it, give some to Pulse. I need
Okay.
to observe. I need to observe the effects.
Get some.
Oh wait, no.
You already
I
know
need
the
to re-
effects of Pulse getting
I don't
drunk.
need.
Are you sure you want to observe those effects?
I will observe while she is around in a public place and make sure it's not near any adult entertainment.
And what's the one thing that comes to mind?
I've got a coin for every inch. Why did we say that at the same time?
Oh my god, this is the most.
I blame one specific person.
The one that said it.
I imagine Coin would get a kick out of that drink.
We'll see if I can maybe learn how to make it. I'm not going to try right now, though.
Honestly, I didn't think it would taste
So, the meeting has been set at the house for, or where would you guys want the meeting set?
It's up to
Somewhere
Cayenne.
we can talk in private.
Just there to be support for Cayenne if she needs it.
I would think that it would be smarter to have it where we normally have meetings.
Back at the
family home.
Rather
palace
than
in the
the
meeting
house.
room.
Yeah, and not the private meeting room, but like the normal meeting room if it's not occupied. If it's occupied, then I'm fine with the house.
That's easy enough. And as you guys set that up, yeah, you start heading up there, trudging through the winter weather and the snow, warmed now to your core by the alcohol. You get to the meeting room, and Fought just says, he sits on the edge of the table and he looks over and he's like, "So why is Fought here?"
I'll leave that to you. Leave that to my sister to tell you. We're just here for support if needed.
Is this
You
an
know-
intervention?
Kind of, but not for you.
Yeah, kinda. Essentially, gotta break the news to Osling more about who she is in a divine sense.
Ah. Huh.
I
Okay.
I don't think she knows the extent of what we know now.
Wait, did we ever tell Thought?
I mean, I think it would be. I'm pretty sure that he kind of guessed at one point based off what he knows about Cayenne. But on the same hand, I was like, thought.
Cayenne.
The goblins speak highly of you. Thought had to course correct him. At one point, they thought the Cayenne was a goblin riding a horse that had no head, referred to as the Psycho Stabber.
It's really a course correct or just changing a couple of details here.
The psycho
The
stabber,
psycho
really?
stabber.
You have stabbed a fair few things.
It's
And
not
people.
entirely untrue.
I wouldn't say psycho. That's
Well, they used the goblin word, and stab and penetrate are the same word, so it could have been both.
Alrighty.
Lovely. Lovely.
Yeah.
But yeah,
does
essentially,
explain a few things about goblin culture.
yeah, we've got to explain to Osling what we know of her history.
Ah.
And it would be smart to have you here.
Well,
Because I
you
don't
should
know
fill them in
how-
a little bit.
I don't know how she's going to react to this news.
Maybe it's important to fill in.
Fought gets
fill
up
in.
and walks over to the door, opens it. You hear him speaking to the person there. Comes back, sits down.
Who is that?
Comes over to you, opens your eyes a little bit to look at you.
Ah,
Are you blind?
no, just drunk.
Spot licks his hand and just slaps you across the face, and suddenly you're just cured of all ailment.
Oh,
Oh. Oh, what the hell?
It certainly got rid of the inebriation, but not the headache.
Pod's listening, Cayenne.
I literally missed that last bit of what was said.
Oh, he just slapped the fucking drunk out of Mongo.
Oh. Oh. Well then, yeah, essentially, well, is Osling here yet?
Nope.
Okay, so Cayenne is essentially going to explain to Fought everything that they witnessed, basically do a recall of the tales that were given with the puppet show and about the land and what she knows of Osling. Because that whole puppet show was a lot
Yeah.
to explain.
So as you come to a close on telling the details, there's a knock at the door, and Fought goes over and opens the door and comes back and sits down. He has like a bowl, and almost like it's filled with a mixture of lettuce, like stems, feta cheese, and blue cheese
Did Fox show up and get Uber Eats?
with with green olives.
Alrighty.
Hmm.
The eye blinking.
That sounds not good.
How'd you say that out loud? Looking over at it?
It's just me, the player,
Ah.
saying that sounds not good.
And you see him just pop a cork over something, he pours it over the top, and the smell of vinegar hits your nose.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Look, a good balsamic vinaigrette on a salad is great.
if you want to call that a salad.
So as he takes a bite of it, and the door opens, and Olufa comes in, and Osling both come in.
Hello.
Osling's like,
Hey.
do I need to resurrect somebody for you guys? Because being called to an official summons is...
Not yet. And if everything
No.
goes well, no, you won't.
No, but we do have something important that needs to be shared with you specifically, Osling.
You may
Um,
want to sit
we-
for this one.
We thought it would be important to have Alufa here as well as Fot. Because if I'm being blunt, I don't know how you're going to take this news. I don't know how upset you might get if you might need moral support.
Okay. They both walk over to the table, and they look over at you, Nikolai, and they're like, even you're here for moral support. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I was part of the witnessing.
Okay, who am I resurrecting, and how important are they to you?
Not
You're not-
resurrecting anyone. Yet.
You're not resurrecting anybody.
Why does everybody keep
Um,
saying yet?
Well,
I'm sure it's going to happen.
it'll probably happen.
Gonna start making Osling a drink.
as-
I believe Cayenne just said her favorite type is like sour apple and spicy.
Yeah, take a look at Mongo's supplies there. Does he have what I would need to be able to make coffee? Spicy coffee I made for Millum.
You can just go ahead and start going through his stuff at your own fate, or ask him.
I would ask. I'm looking at what he's taken out. It's like, you got stuff to make coffee the right way, Mongo?
I know how to make coffee the right way. I took notes.
So is that a yes or no?
Go through, see if I got coffee stuff.
Easy inventory check for you. You do have everything you need.
Oh,
Can you bring that stuff out too, please?
yeah.
I'll make some, if you don't mind, I'll make some coffee for Osling, or, yeah, the type that she likes.
He's brewing coffee. I'm mixing a drink for after.
Whichever one makes you feel calmer.
Osling's just looking around, and she's like, "You all sound rather squirrely at the moment."
I thought that was the
It-
system.
essentially, because of what you had told me before about your past, I wanted to get a little more information about your past as I know very little. Like what your childhood was like, where you grew up, things of that nature. I didn't expect to get the information that I did courtesy of Lumion. My only question is, does the town or place name of Colum ring any bells?
She crosses her arms a bit defensively. She's like, "Yeah."
Does the name Nevea ring a bell?
Nope.
We
Correct me if I'm
were
wrong, DM. the description of the being in Osling's realm that Scav saw was shared with the party. Is that correct?
It's shared
Yeah.
exactly what it's described as.
Okay. And if I figure where you were going with the whole story so far, that's what I saw as Nevaeh that was dueling Carl to help.
Possibly.
Possibly. Okay. I just want to make sure so that when I can say something or should say something, I have something to say
Okay.
that might be useful.
Essentially, Lumion said that we were getting our information about you in Colum, but we were taken to this tent with a tribal leader who spoke of Nevaeh, and we were given basically a puppet show as to who she was and what she stood for. Essentially, she's the goddess of death as well as cold still winter and righting the wrongs of what has been done to them. These people believe in being pure, not lying, never keeping their hands behind their back, never speaking with forked tongues. But all of the people that we met that dwelled within this town were not of just one race. It was different races come together under one deity. They said that her testament was spread through the blood left behind on the corpses in her wake. Not even the Dwarven Empire would cross her.
So, oh, fucking pizza. And lactose intolerance. Nothing like cheese making your nose run away. So, she looks over at you and she's like, okay. So their scriptures might be based off of some of the things that I did.
I think it's a little more than just might be.
Might be.
I was raised as a slave in this land on the outskirts. And when I was old enough, after I realized what I was going through, I left a trail of death all the way to the other side and used the coins that I scavenged off of the dead to pay my way off of that island.
You did a little more than just that there, Osling.
So when we first met this shamanistic character in this little village, they wanted us to understand that whatever God we follow are not necessarily in power. They wanted us to forsake our deities. I don't know if necessarily we're using the word properly, but
That's Nikolai, that's normal.
but
Some
if
domains only one deity has power.
yeah, I get that. But we were still on the material plane as far as I know. So.
Well, Corum is primal. It's not held by civilizations.
But what I'm getting at is that they wanted us to do this or swear some type of level of fealty or understanding, so that they would allow us to stay. At least that's what I interpreted the whole.
And every
practice
once in a while you hear, this fog is taking a big giant heaping mouthful.
And I shared with them that I cannot forsake those that I follow, but I do, do respect yours and your traditions. But I will honor them through my own ways. And so I cut a nice little piece of gem off and did the little blood thing, and the whole offer, did the offering. And then when we had an encounter in the woods there, I knew that we were going to, it had become quite perilous. And that I needed to gain the support of any type of deity, anything out there. So I made a little bit of a prayer to both this Nevaeh character and my own divine influences.
Carl.
Carl.
I know you worship Carl.
Yeah. And they both showed up to attempt to assist. The entity that I saw very much in line with what Scavard has described as the entity that he saw when you did something for him. My assumption is you took him to your realm, I guess, thing that you could do too. And that entity.
I think the difference is in my divine realm, you're not going to find happiness.
And that entity told Carl to leave. Force them out.
She raises an eyebrow.
Need
And
this. Go ahead.
That this Nevaeh character provided protection for me to get to where I needed to be.
She lets out a hefty sigh.
You left a lot more than just a legacy. You have an avatar of your own creation going about. A manifestation of your very will and being.
Or her followers, right?
That too.
But the pot just takes a mid bite, sets the bowl down, slides it off to the side, and you can see the cheeks are full of food, and he just swallows, and you see his throat expand, and he like turns a different shade for a few moments as his air supply's cut off.
They didn't even view you as the form either of us are. You were viewed as more of a satyr to them.
This avatar you have is very powerful. Most of us that called upon our powers of the divine, I had no choice but to call upon them. But it came at a cost as well. Quarter of my life is now gone. But we were able to do what we had to do because of it.
Yeah, you got a whole magical girl transformation thing happening. It was kind of weird.
Your avatar is very powerful, but also very dangerous.
You see her just looking around a little bit, kind of trying to think about this. A lot of gears are in her brain working.
One last thing. You remember the red cloaks we've told you about before?
Yeah.
It seems like they are trying to work with Nevaeh to use their powers to fuel Mustachios' cruxes.
Okay, that's probably the worst thing you've told me so far out of all this.
I
do
hate that I
wanna-
had to tell you, but it's important so you would know what is going on and what we've seen, because it's
I-
important.
Didn't expect what I did on that continent to come back and be some sort of legacy I left behind, some bloody testament for people to follow.
Dear Sister Osling.
And your people
How
are
do you
thriving.
have goblins worship her here?
Your people are thriving. Like the things that we saw in their main tent of dwelling was actually really nice. Like I still can't get over just the celebration of life with the pregnant lady.
Oh yeah, that was freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All she had everyone's handprints on her belly. She was like it was almost like she was being praised like a vessel for a goddess. It was great.
You've done some amazing things.
Mhm.
But as all things do, though, they always come, good or bad, with consequences, and this just happens to be one of them.
She looks again over at Fought. Fought. Need to ask you something. Let's pray to this deity. Me, pray to this deity. And let's see what happens. Fought's like,
How would that work? Wouldn't that just basically be praying to yourself?
Fought's like,
Hmm.
okay.
Okay.
Was there any effigies, trinkets, anything like that that were of power to this god?
Can I recall the ones that I saw unused?
Could I recall anything that I thought maybe I saw? Try
The-
to fashion
the-
something together.
Yeah, wisdom. Cayenne would know right off the rip what
Wisdom
would be.
check or save.
Check.
Wisdom or religion? Or does it have...
It would be a wisdom trying to remember something.
Modified 9.
17.
28.
28 for you? For you?
17.
Okay. You're staying a little bit too close to Fought's meal, and the smell is permeating your senses.
I'm gonna walk casually, give Fought some space, so that way he can do his thing.
Sorry, 25, not 28. It was a check, not a save.
Mm-hmm. I sent you something, Cayenne.
Oh. Should I bring that up?
You can, and actually, with Nikolai and Scabbard, the three of you kind of look at each other at the same time, realizing what would be a good thing to have. It's kind of like that, oh, as you guys look at each other.
I mean, it is a being, an avatar to goddess of the death domain.
Remember what Lumion gave to the tribal leader? The
Oh,
jar?
Yeah, eyeballs, yeah. The eyeballs.
Oh god, I thought those were olives.
Oh, those are
Yeah.
eyeballs.
They were eyeballs from different creatures.
Hey, don't you have a jar of eyeballs?
And they say the eyes are the gateways to one's soul.
Quite
I-
literal.
I think I have a jar of eyeballs.
What a weird conversation.
I'll get to fashioning something that looks like an eyeball.
You could just tinker like a marble or something.
Yeah.
Osling pulls out, checks her pockets, and she pulls out a jar, and she reaches over and pulls over Fought's bowl and pours the water out of it. You can see some fragments and such from the jar that she has with eyes in it, pouring into the now weird mush that Pot was eating.
Do I remember the sigil trace rune itself? No. Okay. So I don't remember what the sigil looks like.
Nikolai,
Mhm.
I see you whittling away over there.
Yeah, I'm just making a pendant. Just it's rough. I can make it better later.
More or less a holy symbol of sorts.
You want to roll something on that?
Just sleight of hand. You could add your tinkering to it. If Fought Soup couldn't get any weirder,
18.
you managed to fashion something really, like something that looks like an actual eye. And
Cool.
she takes it from you and she puts it in the jar, and then she just takes her blade and slices across her hand and just pours all the blood in there, replacing the liquid that was in there with blood.
Gonna check to see, cause I'm sure I've got some things to garnish. No.
You know
Garnish
what?
the bowl of blood.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
I'm gonna-
kind of stretching on this one.
I'm gonna do the worst thing.
Uh-oh.
And this is gonna mortify everybody.
What are you thinking? Don't do that. That would be bad for this deity.
No, because Fought had a bullet.
Plus, you're
full of
already
olives.
having a hard time seeing depth perception.
I'm actually going blind in my left eye. So what's giving up my left eye?
Olives, in a weird way, kind of almost look like eyes.
Are you going to use martini olives?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except I'm just gonna, because I'm sure I probably got some garnishes on me, the little drink maker that I am, and then try to grab something else that, you know, I could kind of put around to make look like eyelashes.
Roll a sleight of hand.
I actually have a strawberry, so I can make an eyeball out of that.
Does anybody happen to have any water on them?
Well, there's
my
now
God,
water.
It can be water.
There's now water in the bottom of Faught's bowl of and vinegar.
Well,
12.
I'm gonna need enough to fill this vial real quick. Pass
Fought
it
comes
on.
over. You see Fought come over and you see him start undoing his robes. Fought's got this.
Well, it's only water.
Well, I was gonna make some holy water to help this, but I forget you can just do that.
And he just pees in the bottle while you're holding it.
What? You could, what? What? You just
What
make
works in
holy water?
mysterious
Yeah, I
ways?
guess so.
How do you think he dealt with Strahd? Or
Victor.
sorry, with Victor?
And you just see the pee dripping from his arm, and the bottle's clear full.
Okay,
Right.
because I got some holy water from. Oh God, that means I have bottles of you.
This is not my
I'm
method of
not-
making holy
No,
water.
oh no.
This is Fat's
So-
method.
As you donate to the various things that she's going to use.
Oh, I'm way too sober for this.
Do you mind a little bit of prestidigitation, please?
Oh, worried about getting pissed.
I would like to just have it clean.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Allergies.
Yeah, something just started.
So, Owsley found these various trinkets in front of her on the table, and she's like, all right, well, this is a weird one. Praying apparently to yourself.
But what kind of circle or sigils should we make for this? 'Cause I don't think we've ever done anything like this before. I know.
Pot's like, we're in undiscovered territory.
So a circle.
Boldly going where no one has gone before.
Didn't you have that zone of truth?
I do have a zone of truth. Should I put down a protection circle?
Pot's like, I wouldn't piss off a god.
Don't know what we're doing, but you're
How's that different from every other
you're more
fucking day of my
experienced in this
life?
than I am, and then if you say you don't know, that leaves me worried. But here we go.
Doing or not doing the circle?
So, okay, were there any actual, like, did they have an actual holy effigy outside of very bizarre offerings?
I don't remember what it
Exactly.
was. I remember there being effigies, but I don't remember what the sigil itself
I
was.
remember the headdress
The-
seemed to be very important.
The only thing I had seen were bones that were wrapped in leather cord.
You do.
Other th-
You do remember the symbol. Those that got in a roll where the holy symbol essentially is a bunch of horns coming off each other with eyes attached to it.
Okay.
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 Almost like a growing bramble, essentially.
Okay. Perhaps I may be able to help with that much. Go ahead and describe it a bit to Fat.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, that's what I would have informed me is basically a rough, wire armature, horns with little eyeballs on them.
Osling's like, Don't do what I'm going to do. Any of you.
Mm.
But you can dare tread one of me. He's like, And she takes her blood, and across this beautiful white marble table, you can see her just carving, like dropping blood across it to form this pattern that you've presented her, and she's placing the various offerings along the different branches.
Nope. I'm gonna kind of step to the other side of the elevator on this one.
You know, gonna step back a little bit too. Actually, I have no idea what's about to happen.
I'm staying.
Oh no, I'm still in the room. I'm
Yeah,
just
I
getting
know.
ready to catch the shield spell, just in case.
I'm just I owe this Nevaeh a thank you, so they show up. I'm gonna say thank you.
So, Bot and Oswald are doing religion, and Olupa, she steps back and she's like, she's been very quiet throughout this whole situation, and they don't know the like verbiage to pray to this deity, the language to use. They just simply are trying to reach out, a summons essentially, to find out about this deity. And the first thing you guys notice within this room, the Everlight candles, essentially, you actually see them all flicker.
Alrighty. Oh, that seems like a pretty powerful thing to be going on inside a palace of the kingdom.
And as they flicker, you can just see that below you there's just a gentle fog along your ankles.
Does this look familiar and similar to that of like the realm?
Somewhat, you're like, there was fog there, there's fog here, it's mist, there's mist here,
Fog is fog.
and then the candles just flicker again. And Oslin looks around and she's like, and she just put her hand on the table, and her hand is still bleeding. And she just puts her hand on the table, and blood just kind of splatters out from it. And she just gets very serious and leans forward. And she's like, show your fucking self to me. And you just see the large, like, at the head at the other end of the table. You see the large stone chair there just move off to the side.
All
And
right.
then you see the other tables moving off towards the side of the walls, and you're just seeing them all move. You're like, oh. It's almost like summoning a poltergeist.
Do I sense?
It's like a
anything-
seance gone wrong.
Do I sense anything evil?
You don't sense anything in this room except cold.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
And then you just see like something come down, and you see like something heavy like lands on the actual table, and you see a large fragment of fall off. And you see as there's like steps towards Osley. These large, like deep cracks are just forming along the table with each heavy footstep coming towards her.
Yeah, okay. This is fascinating.
And as it draws closer to her, she looks up, and the light's barely like visible. It's fighting to stay relevant in this room. Just briefly, you see this figure standing there, and you can't identify it.
Okay.
But it's similar to it's similar enough within the shadows to be identifiable as this effigy.
Okay. Yeah, what goggles on?
They don't work.
They don't work any special?
You're just seeing darkness.
You've seen darkness, all right.
Drop yours down. Nothing either.
I go through all
Diane
of
is standing there and not
twice.
trying anything because she knows nothing's going to work. She knows just to stand there and do nothing and say nothing.
And this figure just reaches down and doesn't really touch Osling. And Fought just kind of like holds up a holy symbol, and the deity just brings her hand up, grabs Fought, and throws him out through the double doors. And you just see him hit the double doors, brief line of light as he skids across the hall.
Oh, shit. Damn.
I don't know if we should leave and try. Someone should leave and try to help him, or we should stay put.
um,
Because I'm not doing anything to piss whoever this is off.
So, as you guys see that, you like, he went between all of you and out the door, and it's like, Aloof was like,
yeah.
just pointing.
Shit, yeah.
And
I don't have any potions
you
on me, so I can't.
see that this figure just picks up Osling with some sort of unseen force, not actually touching him. And you can see like Osling's body just contorting in different directions, bones breaking in possible angles. And then within a matter of moments, the room is just completely empty. And the lights just flicker back to full light.
That's awesome.
Where the hell did she go? Making my way over to Thought.
Yeah, I was like, new problem. All right. Let's see if Thought needs help.
As you guys get the Fought sitting up, he's like, anybody get a identification on that wagon?
I think
Divine sense.
before Cayenne leaves, she's going to yell out, "Give my sister back."
Using divine sense, was this a celestial or a fiend?
Both.
We may have a very big problem.
I don't suggest doing anything stupid.
I don't think there's much we
Well,
can
there goes
do.
Plan A.
Whatever
I-
that was,
Maybe all the way up to F.
whatever that was, there's a sense of both celestial and fiendish in nature.
Okay.
Fought's like,
And your point?
Fought's like, so when you get a god in a room with each other,
You think so?
apparently crazy shit happens.
Yeah.
No offense to any gods. And Fought goes
Where-
walking back into the room.
Wait, is Alufa still here?
She's right next to you, like uncomfortably close to you.
Okay, I'm fine with her being as close as she needs to be to me, especially with what she just saw.
She's like, what the hell's happened?
So
Uh,
do
Osling
gods
prayed
have
to
some sort of mortal tie?
Fought's like,
apparently Osling prayed to herself, and then this happened.
Like, the gods just walk amongst us, and that's them. They don't have that.
Huh.
I thought,
Now just got to figure out, and this is Cayenne talking normal and then yelling. Now we just got to figure out where that bitch took my sister.
what are the chances that a deity's avatar can go rogue?
Fought's like, it's unlikely.
Like, unlikely, don't need to consider it.
Well, that's like your big toe disconnecting from your body and running away. It just doesn't happen.
Okay.
So, I know you can go to your realm, whatever the hell you want. Since she's your sister, can you go to hers?
I don't think that's how that works.
Well, didn't you say your father met you at yours?
My grandfather did.
Grandfather.
Fodd's like, I got a really crazy idea.
That's just our time.
What? Kill me
That's
and
why
see
you're
if
our
we end
brother.
up there?
Fodd's like, exactly. I will carve the holy symbol on you, and we will make you temporary dead, and Fod will pull you back and pulls out a.
Oh yeah, you did that with Mongo.
I will pull you back in exactly 5 grain falls.
Anyone
Confident
else?
he can do it.
Anyone opposed to this?
I think Fott can do it. I saw him do it with Mongo when he was possessed.
It's only kind of possessed.
All right.
What do you need
can do
from
it,
us?
but it's your choice, sister.
You guys are rubbing off on me. Let's do something crazy.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that by the time that you were talking about this, Kyan is just like unbuttoning, unstrapping, like exposing human belly, horse belly, chest.
Oh, it's like, I'm going to be gentle about carving this into you, okay?
Don't hold back.
I think she digs scars anyways.
Have fun with it. Leave me a cool scar, at least one, and pick your poison wherever you want to carve.
Well, okay.
I-
You just start carving into the center of your chest gently.
That's fine.
Horse chest or person chest?
Person chest.
Okay.
And Foch just finishes copying the symbol, and he's like, well, it's time to go night-night. Do you want this nice and easy or quick?
I'll just hold my hand out for the blade.
He hands you the blade. It's a beautiful obsidian blade, too.
Giving myself a necktie. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Slick.
I certainly hope Lomian is not witnessing any of this right now.
He is
Oh,
nowhere
I'm
to be
pretty
found.
I'm pretty sure that he'd be able to see it if he wanted to.
Yeah.
He's
So, you just see Cayenne collapse like a sack of potatoes on, like, Osling. And, roll a religion. You can actually roll with advantage since Scabbard's present.
Cayenne's just rolling for for death fall performance.
Should I place down some sort of protective barrier in case something tries to come back for the
Yep.
body?
Probably wouldn't be a good idea.
Fott's got this.
What's your religion there, Cayenne? With advantage.
Advantage is a 17.
Nice. So, to you guys, she kind of falls and like a sack of potatoes to the ground, and Fodd's like,
Protect your head.
And with you, it's like you just
Mage-
fell
mage
into
head.
like ice cold water, and you just suddenly find yourself in Osling's realm.
Who's
That's
going
my-
chicken hunting? We's going chicken hunting.
My guess is that the Avatar took her to the realm because that's the only way she'll be able to reveal herself to herself.
Yeah, so investigation there, Cayenne.
Oh boy.
You know, if this was
Oh,
more high tech, I'm
God.
sure there'd be a couple of Tron references to make.
I
here.
think
We just
I think
watched that
I'm-
last night.
I think I might still be a little
Oh, that'd be a
spooked in
good
the fact that
GTA
this
mod.
worked, because that was an 8.
Oof, you're looking around, you're like, oh yeah, it's a lot like that place.
I am going to be careful where I walk and just be on the lookout, but I'm going to make sure I don't touch anything that could potentially piss off the ruler here.
So I have a really weird question in regards to this whole situation. Cayenne's dead, but she's not actually dead.
No, she's dead.
But she's dead. Or at least.
It's more like the movie Flatliners.
Yeah.
Okay.
That might be a movie that's outside your age.
No, I've seen
Okay.
it. Really good. Now, here's a really strange, weird question because we know that she's still aware of what's going on within the realm. Her body is still here. Whatever happens in like there, because her body is still here, does she still gain benefits and stuff of what's going on?
No, but it could be very much Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay. Okay. I only ask because there's some like weirdness going on here. We're in very uncharted territory.
Just now catching up, are we? Are you done buffering?
Loading.
Cayenne's just gonna be on the lookout in the spirit realm
So,
for
yeah.
Osling and the bitch that took her.
Yeah. You can do another investigation.
Hopefully my dice is nice this time. Only a little bit at a 14.
You're retracing the path heading back to that, essentially that focal point, the central part where people seem to be judged.
And just make my way there.
Yeah, you're just kind of ignoring the whispers within the woods around you.
Yeah, I don't hear anything. I hear birds. I hear birds.
Birds.
I hear little tweets. That's it. Yep, that's it. No spooky ghost voices or anything. Nothing that could send a chill down your spine at all. No. Mm-mm. No.
Nope. What are
Nope.
you guys doing in the other world?
Attempting to not freak the fuck out.
Aloof is right there next to you.
I'm gonna try and keep Alufa calm.
Oh, she's hyperventilating at this point.
I'm just
I'll grab a bag and hold it up so that way.
I give you permission to go through my pack and see if I have any candy to give her.
Some giggle candy.
I'm since I've
The
seen
giggle
Fott
pouch
do-
or actual candy.
watched Fott do much the same thing as he proposed with Mongo and how confident Fott was at that time. I'm trying to get an insight on what Fott looks
Yeah,
like, his
insight.
senses.
Alufa, let me see your hand.
She holds out her hand. She's like, "You're gonna kill me too, are you?"
No,
Absolutely
I'm gonna
not.
do something that might actually help calm you down.
And if he tries, you kill him right back.
And I will go ahead and imbue her with heroism to go ahead and make her immune to any
Fear.
frightening and fear effects.
Wait a minute, heroism, isn't that a self?
A willing creature you touch.
You can make us a
Okay.
drink using giggle pouch stuff if you want. I'll give you that because you always have permission to go into a giggle pouch.
Yeah.
Except for when the stock is low.
16.
16.
Mm-hmm.
He looks panicked, but he's trying to rely on his years of wisdom.
Make something that tastes about as sweet as she is.
I think I just got toothache. I'm a whole lot more tired.
By the way, I'm upcasting that at second level to try and like nullify any fear effect.
Okay. So you wander along, and it just feels like this is taking forever as you're wandering. It's like, am I walking across the whole continent of this place?
It's gonna-
do a survival, actually.
My survival's better. That's an 18.
Yeah, at this point, you're not so much following the path. You're trying to stay on the path from all the weird offshoots that go in different directions that misguide you in either into the woods or along valleys and such.
I
Hey,
think
Fod?
Cayenne's going to find a place to stop and yell out, "I'm done with your games. Meet me face to face."
Help, Pot? Can I help you? I can try to help steady your mind.
Pot's like, if he just grabs you and pulls you over. He's like, pray.
I will pray. And in the process of praying, I will also weave in what's it? Enhance ability. So Owl's wisdom to him.
Okay.
Uh,
Do another investigation. And
He'll get advantage checks on the wisdom checks.
roll a religion.
That investigation was a 6.
You get distracted by the off to your right. You look in that direction and you see an old mine, and you can hear whispers from within it. Like miners that got lost within there or possibly killed.
Hmm. Might not be
Lovely.
a bad idea.
17.
Yeah, I'm not going in there. Nope. I'm gonna call out the same thing I did earlier, just to see if there's an effect.
18?
17.
Okay.
But what are the chances that whatever comes back is not Cayenne?
Yes. I don't know.
In that case, I'm gonna preemptively take a protective measure, and I'm gonna begin tracing the sigil for a zone of truth in the area.
Okay. And do another survival, Cayenne.
Couldn't hurt while I'm mixing the drink for Alufa. Start praying to the Sky Cat.
Go for it.
That's
Religion.
that's a 12.
Not for me to help Thought come up with something.
Ah,
Since Sky Cat is for creativity. Get him and Cayenne. What is that? Oh, yeah. All right, I'll take that.
I got a 12 for my survival.
22 modified.
nice. You can have advantage on that now. Because there's enough people pulling religion out here to give you advantage in there.
Okay. Advantage would be a 21, so thanks for that.
So as you wander through here, Pot reaches over and turns over the hourglass. And you find yourself standing in that circle, and you've realized you're not actually in the circle, you're on the outside. You're at that gate, and you can see that the gate is locked shut. And it's never been closed before when you've been here.
What do you do when you die and get to your god's realm and they're not answering?
You get there, and there's a sign on the door that says, out to lunch.
Out to lunch.
Please hang up and pray again.
Cayenne is pulling something childish, because she's going to get their attention whether they like it or not.
Okay.
Nevaeh, come out to play.
Good movie.
I'm
good
waiting
movie.
on. After that, she's like, "I'm waiting on you, bitch," and
Roll
I'm not
religion.
taking. I'm not taking no for an answer. And you said religion.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do a little
15?
bit of a prayer for them as well.
15?
15.
If you guys want to do one as well.
What are we doing? Praying again?
Religion.
25.
13.
R
Or
23.
23. Cayenne, as you're standing there, you look in your
Going full
hand,
pirate bud?
I
and
couldn't find religion. It's like
even more questions are going to be had by you.
S
As
Argo.
you now have in your hand what looks to be a metal broom that could be used to pry open the gate.
Fuck it, I'll use it.
Roll strength.
Went to Nevaeh's room and start cleaning up.
Strength is a 9.
Oh, that is a stubborn cast iron gate that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Yep.
Look at Twat's face. Does he-
Getting a little
power?
Pot is
easier to work
sweating.
with. That's a 12.
It starts to give. Broom's the best multi-tool.
Extra towels? Yes.
You guys can do another religion if you want. And oddly enough,
Fuck yeah.
Luca, she tries to. She's like, okay, and she's like, I don't know how to pray.
6. Natural 20.
That catches you so off guard that she doesn't know how to pray.
Give her the drink. Let her get a couple of sips, and it's like, well,
She doesn't sip it. She just.
fair enough. Well, I'm a big fan of a certain auntie of ours. See if we can pray to her.
Until 20. Go ahead and do another strength with advantage.
15.
Advantage is a 12. Again.
Oof.
It's my last one would have been a 1.
Oh, break the broom. That would have been bad. That she actually broke the will of another god in her realm. That's completely plausible, but still savage as hell.
Yeah.
Pot reaches over, turns it over again.
Oh.
It's on number 3. You may roll another strength. You guys can do what you want to do.
Okay, that's better. That's an 18.
Are you scared or just trying to remember things, Twat?
Yes.
All right, I'll try heroism.
Uh,
This time.
Okay,
I'll drop
so their auntie kind of likes pulling pranks. Kind of a fan, so let's try to guide her to pray to their prankster auntie.
All right.
Oh boy.
You know what? I ain't
of
fucking around. Do
of
the thing.
pranks and debauchery.
Do the thing.
Listen here, you little shit. You're gonna work. You're gonna make sure you do it and don't fuck it up. Otherwise, you're getting chucked across the room.
It's
I have
threatening to
other
die.
dice. You fucking know I do.
Fucking
I
what?
should have did
There you
that to
go.
my dice earlier when they decided let's roll 2 12s.
Modified 20.
Nice.
Sometimes you just have to be assertive.
So, as you guys work together helping Pot, Cayenne, you're struggling with this gate and you're trying to pull it, and you just see another hand come out and just grab it and help you, and you look over your shoulder and it's your aunt, and then she's like, I can't stay here. It's way too depressing, but you needed a hand.
Thank you. This gate was kicking my ass, and now I've got to find my sister.
Tell her I said hi. And with that, she
Hi.
fades away with a Cheshire smile.
I love her so much.
You do realize the next commission, right?
Is the aunt?
No. I'm gonna need something that I can actually put on a necklace. Skycat on one side, her on the other.
Yeah, and you know what both holy symbols look like.
Yeah.
And I can give you an accurate description of that because I have the card.
And I want one in real life.
Okay.
That would actually be cool.
Imagine if it was actually cast in like bronze.
Okay, that would be fucking expensive. Can't do that, but maybe something that looks like it's bronze.
It could be like this, where it's got one
Yeah.
thing on one side and one thing on the other.
As long as
So-
it's not too expensive to cast it.
Hopping back
factor.
in, you go through the gates and you're in that familiar judgment area with the crypts and the trees and such like that, the round area. And you see all these broken mirrors laying around, and you can see like fragments of memories in these mirrors. And in the middle of the circle of destroyed mirrors, you see a figure standing there. And suddenly all of that like aggression and emotion just kind of disappears from you as you're in the presence of them. And this figure stands about 6 feet tall, very slender, and they're satyr, and these long, like almost like crystalline antlers that they have. And they look to each of the mirrors, and they're deathly pale except for their lower half, which is rare, like dark fur, almost like, and a tiny little like nub tail, but their hair is very long, covering most of them. And they pause for a moment, and they turn towards you, and starkly beautiful, you recognize it as Osling.
I'm calling out to Osling.
She pauses and she's like, you just hear her in the whispers of, is that another memory? I don't know. I've been here so long.
Osling's not a memory.
And you see her just kind of crouch down and pull some pieces of these one of what she thinks is a mirror together, trying to piece it back together. Do a nature.
13.
13.
My dice don't like me tonight.
You're in the deep end, Charlie.
Yeah. I'd be slowly approaching. Like, obviously no aggression, but slowly approaching.
Yeah, I'm probably sure you're watching out for shards of mirror on the ground.
Yes, I'm being careful of what is on the ground because the mirrors are obviously important, but I'm also not wanting to be like, oh, hi, I want to talk to you today about your car insurance. No.
Have you heard about our Lord and Savior Geico?
Oh
my
They have a wonderful plan called Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh God.
Have you heard about our Lord and Have you heard about our Lord and Savior Liberty Bibberty?
So you guys can do another religion. Fought reaches over and turns it over to the last side.
Got this.
16.
Just the 10.
To honor Cayenne, 12.
15.
That would
10?
be
16.
her holy number because that's the number I roll the most.
12. Well, it's actually basically just the average you're rolling every time.
Yep.
So you approach closer, and I guess you start to reach out, and do you reach for a shoulder or an arm or what?
I'd be reaching for her hand.
So as she goes to reach for another piece, you grab her hand, and you can just see like where she's been going through these with dozens of scars along her forearms and hands, like where shards of these have cut her over time, like layered up on each other in some places.
Hey, Tobo, what's up?
The fuck are you calling me?
don't
Tyrone for?
have to deal with this alone.
It's not fast.
She
It's
looks-
just easy to follow.
She turns her head towards you and she looks through her hair at you. And you can see like those Osling basically looking back at you, not really sure who she is. The collision of her deific self and her normal self basically just kind of like a splitting an atom.
You've been dealing with who you are alone for so long, but you have people to support you and to help you along the way to discovering who you truly are. You have me, your sister. You have Alufa now, who's going to be your wife. You have Scav. You have Mongo. You have Nikolai, your brothers. You have Lady Kippa. You have Sunny. You have Maggie. You have a lot of people. You have a huge support system to help you through all of this.
She looks you over and she takes your hand in hers and looks at it, and the stark differences in your skin color.
She's basically so translucent you could trace her veins and probably the detail of her bone, is what I'm imagining.
She's practically like, that very beautiful porcelain color.
Mm-hmm.
And her nails are just like pitch black towards the tips, like razor sharp. And she just grabs you and pulls you in for a hug, and she whispers in your ear, and it's like pure ice running down your body, and it's just a simple word: wake up. And suddenly you're back. You see, Cayenne just take a breath of air as her wounds are healed, and suddenly startle Laner on the ground, back in this room.
Nobody touch her.
She just all of a sudden starts moving.
And I will cast Zone of Truth. Since the circle has already been completed, we don't know. So
Think Cayenne's gonna just stand
Your
without
head,
help.
yeah, your head swims instantly from the blood loss.
Cayenne,
Hmm.
is that you?
Who the fuck else would I be?
I'm pretty sure it's her. So drop in the Zone of Truth.
Do a perception.
Me?
Yeah. Are you happy your sister's back? Not dead?
Aha!
Mhm.
23.
2 more
I'll
deaths on
take
your
that.
conscience there? Could have been possible.
Sorry, we didn't know what to expect.
As you put your hand on the
But-
table, you look over Cayenne, and in the middle of the table is Osling in her new appearance, unconscious, laying in the middle of the table.
I'm galloping over to her. I don't care how wobbly I am. I'm
You're
not
just
waiting.
trying to like hold on to the table and go around it towards the middle of the table.
I will try to help keep her upright as much as I can. H-Ball ain't helping a hell of a lot, but it's a little bit.
We can support her 10 pounds on each shoulder. That'll help.
Yeah. Keep Aha from sliding too far away.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not okay.
Bosch just sitting there just covered in sweat. He looks like that part in Airplane when he's trying to land a plane, just soaked through it.
I'm gonna walk over and help
Just
him up,
pouring off his face.
and I'm gonna check on
So-
Alufa as well. Make
You
sure-
don't know Lufa's there yet. You just see her heading somewhere.
Oh, I thought Alufa was No, we know.
Oh, no,
Alufa's there.
Alufa,
I'm
yeah,
like, what are you
she's there.
talking about?
Yeah.
I'm gonna basically make sure those two are okay, while these two make sure that those two are okay. Well, that
So now the
Kinda.
question is, will Osling still answer to Osling? Or will it be a completely different name?
Yeah.
What do you do when you get to her laying there?
Osphea?
I'm going to check her pulse. I'm gonna make sure she has no injuries already other than the scars that she already has. Just basically gonna do what any EMT would do.
Make a quick
You
body
start checking
stability
over her, and,
assessment.
and she opens her eyes a little bit. She's like, "Hey, not so rough."
Thank God. Thank God. Okay. Uh,
Is that one of the rare times where you can basically say thank me?
you you have no idea what just happened to get you back. And you're also different than how you used to be.
Huh?
She's like,
Just say,
"What?"
I'm
Just a
going
very
to
faint "what."
we will explain once you're back feeling back to your normal self.
And she's already
Right
slipped
now.
back to unconsciousness from exhaustion. And then
Yeah,
you guys,
it's
a lot to take in.
yeah, I think it's best to get her to where she can get some rest before this is explained. Because
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
she'd be able to handle being told
Yeah,
something like this magnitude.
Yeah, as you guys go over to the table and the short ones are able to climb up on chairs, you see the difference. You're like, "What?"
She's different.
Is she coming back in shifts or?
more like it's more like this is who she is.
But you, but like,
Alufa looks over. The same family tree.
Okay.
My if you remember, Grandpa is the all father of all giants. If you remember, Grandma is a cosmic unicorn.
and your aunt is a satyr.
And my dad and mother are centaurs.
Ha.
And to put it in perspective, my father wasn't originally always a centaur either. He chose that form.
Is she gonna be okay?
Suddenly you have Alufa's hand on your neck. She better damn well be okay.
She will be fine.
Well, think about it this way, sister. Now she doesn't
It-
have 2 left feet. She just has 1.
That's the least of her worries. I have never seen my sister in such a way as she was.
Well, let's get her home
Ever.
so she could be rested and tended to.
Are you gonna
I'll
be
start
okay?
The ritual for floating disc. That way we can.
I will, but
Very
I'm
nice, easy.
still going to be
Alufa stops
thinking
you and
of
just
what
kind
we
of
can.
takes off the cloak she has on and wraps it around her and just picks her up and carries her.
I'm just going to continue thinking of ways we can appropriately deal with the Dwarven Empire. That's what's on my mind right now.
Got 1 or 2 very bad headaches with pictures.
Alufa's like, "Can we just not plot right now and count our blessings?"
Yes,
Of course.
that's what
Agreed.
I'm saying. I will be thinking about it. I'm not making any plans. I'm more worried about Osling right now and making sure that she gets rest.
Nikolai,
Yeah.
would you and Mongo be able to get this room cleaned with some magic?
I suppose so, but it's
Uh,
probably just going to clean by itself.
yeah, cleaning by hand would probably actually be the safer idea. Trying to magic any of this might not.
Good idea, actually.
Yeah, some
And,
random effects.
Also,
see-
player
Go
to
ahead.
DM, did Cayenne get to get a scar from this whole thing?
Maybe.
Okay,
Oh,
that's the only
Josie's
thing I
concerned
ask.
like scar, right?
So, as you guys are there talking, the door opens and a moon elf comes walking in, and he walks over very cautiously, and he holds up a scroll.
If I'm close enough to grab it, I'll
He hands it
accept
to
it.
you. I just need you to verify your name.
Nikolai?
Okay. Last name?
What?
Okay.
Well, it's the first time they didn't go weird.
And they're looking around at the damage of the room. They're like, ability is such a strange thing.
Yeah, just don't.
Friend, you have no idea.
And nor will you.
Leave the
We're not
circle,
telling.
they said. See the world, they said. Go on a pilgrimage, they said. And they walk out whispering, talking to themselves.
Wait, I'm gonna take out a coin for your troubles.
They take it and they bow gently.
Bow back
Wait.
properly.
Before they leave, can I give them a seed?
Yeah.
I want to give them a seed for their troubles because it always gives me a random one.
Yeah, the seed bag.
Yes. I pull a seed. Where did it go? Excuse me?
You hear something. You hear Mongo. And it's from Osling.
Go over.
And she just holds out something in your direction.
Confused, but I'll grab it. But
Okay, investigation.
just trying to see
So
what
with
it
the
is.
seed
not trying to
with the
activate
seed bag,
anything.
I don't
I
have to roll
I have-
anything.
Yeah, I have to roll stuff. Whoopsie daisy.
Reading the scroll.
Is that investigation to see what she handed over?
Yep.
14.
Okay, cool. Oh my god, where'd you go? There you are. Okay. It's a nine-tailed seed.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm. If you want, do a nature.
I'm gonna do a nature for sure. I'll take that 24.
Wow. So the seed is from a
Tom curse has passed on to. Okay.
so the seed once it's planted will produce basically the cattails you see by the lakes and such and riverbeds. But these they will start to sway over time, and eventually when they bloom, they'll just let off a little fire that's and then spread the seeds.
Oh,
That's kind of cool.
like
Pretty cool.
a fire effect instead of like, I'm going to set an entire forest on fire.
Like a plume, like a little like a little ember, essentially, that will float off like a little candle, spreading the
Oh,
seeds.
that's actually really cool.
So a forest fire could happen.
Mongo, what you have in your paw, you look at it, and Osling has just given you a gift. It's one of your mom's cards. The Knight of Hearts.
Knight of Hearts.
Lufa.
Jack.
King of Hearts.
King of Hearts.
Yeah.
Okay.
While Mongo looks at that, Cayenne is going to explain the seed and give the seed to the moon elf.
They take a really deep bow, and they're like, "May the moon goddess shine upon you, and guide your path."
And may she shine upon you as well.
And they leave the room quietly.
Alufa, will you be needing an escort to wherever it is you're going?
She's out again. She's just coming in and out of consciousness.
No, I'm asking Alufa.
Oh,
not
Alufa?
Osling.
She's like, "Yeah, that would be great. You gonna look at the scroll
Yeah,
you got?
read the scroll.
You open it up, and it's from Ace.
Oh.
Hey, bud. You good?
Hi, Tubbo.
Good lord, bud.
Camera looks fine.
I saw you move that table from here.
It's a summons for the immediate family to basically you guys, the four of
Okay.
you,
Alright.
to attend the funeral of Snake Chain.
Oh. Oh, we get,
From from depressed to depression.
we have to get Osling tucked away, and then I guess we gotta go practice some rights with Ace and his lost buddy.
Gonna step out of the room for just a moment to go ahead and speak with the usual guard that's posted out there and be like, "Hey, we need a royal escort for someone."
All right. It'll be a few moments, but all right.
It's fine. We just need to make sure that these two are protected for the time being. One's vulnerable right now.
All right. You're like, what is this card? You can't wait to identify that one.
Yeah, kind of chomping at the bit here.
Chomping at
Chomping at the bit.
you
So-
can just cast the spell. You don't have to do it as neutral.
Step right back in.
So, with that, eventually some guards do show up and escort you to wherever you want to take her to rest.
Okay.
I would assume their private quarters where
Yeah.
her and Alufa sleep.
Yeah. Alufa's like, she reaches over and she picks up one of Osling's knife and she's like holding it all awkwardly and she's like, I'll protect her. Pointy end goes in the bad guy, right? Okay.
It does.
Please don't cut yourself.
Sweet
want us to
summer
accompany
child.
you?
Or I should say sweet fey child.
So you're just gonna cast Identify on it?
First, we got to make sure that those two
Yeah.
are okay.
Alupa's like, this is a new dynamic. But we'll work it out. I'm not going anywhere. You guys have something to attend to.
Yeah.
The royal guard should keep watch and make sure that nothing happens.
And aren't they like always watching us?
Pretty much.
This is a special case.
Alufa's like, technically, yes. And you can choose to identify that after everything is settled here,
Yeah.
before you go to the event.
He's helping.
Huh?
He's helping.
I know, I had to switch over to a blank screen because he keeps whapping my keyboard. Like, oh my gosh, buddy. I love you, but holy shit, dude.
I get
You identify it, and it's Spirit Guardian.
Nice. A good one.
You know what's funny? Game I've been playing, that's the one spell that I always pick.
That's the guardian?
As Zora Arcane said, now we just need a picture of Alufa with the phrase "sweet fey child" under her.
Yes. You just need to have that funny picture where the eyes are crossed, the tongue is out, like,
How do I hold this thing?
like
have
the
a
T,
flyer and
the
another
like the
card.
Tiamat art. You just have serious, smooth brain.
Yeah, that checks out. So the scroll is actually designed as like a beacon to go where it needs to go.
Okay.
So you guys are able to head off in that direction.
Mhm.
You guys had talk amongst yourselves as you head in that direction after your most recent experience.
Also
Do
gonna make
a
sure it falls
investigation
out,
if you
too.
want, Cayenne.
That's a modified 20.
Nice. You check yourself over, and on your right forearm, you see some of the some new scars, and there's some of the ones that you saw on Alufa within her realm.
You mean Osling?
Yeah.
You said Alufa.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Just been getting those two mixed up tonight.
Oh, I feel the smooth brain of her.
Well, they're such a perfect match for each other. It's easy to confuse, okay?
So, are we
Well,
just
that's
gonna
cool.
ignore the fact that there was a fiendish presence in the room with us?
What does that mean? Like, why?
Means
Why
that
is it?
something evil was in the room with us when whatever
it?
happened to Osling happened.
Does it? Does it
Ev-
entirely?
every deity has a bit of evil in them to a certain extent.
Well, aren't like the devil children like fiends technically?
And you would
You mean
understand
you mean tieflings?
Yeah, are they technically
the
fiends?
Devilkin, yeah.
The devilkin, aren't they technically fiends?
Half.
So they
They're
themselves
half,
would,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they themselves would present a fiendish presence. So
Mhm.
And
do you think all devilkin are evil?
But we didn't have one in the room with us at the
for
time.
you, Cayenne, you would understand because of the position of Osling. She walks the line between both good and evil. So she would
Yeah.
present both.
She's that even split mix between what you would
There's gunk
consider
all over
good
it.
and evil. Considering her line of work, necromancy, in what cities do people view necromancers as the most like good at all? It's viewed as bad
Or
and
tolerated.
or tolerated. That too. It's the same way as I'm pretty sure there's plenty of druid circles who will look at me like I'm a complete outsider and not welcome because I follow the circle of blood rather than something like the circle of spores, circle of land, or circle of the shepherd.
I'm just implying or trying to imply that the presence of fiend does not mean the presence of evil. Did you detect any evil?
That's the thing, is there was nothing in the room with us at the time that should have given off a fiendish presence.
You didn't see the footsteps on the table and
The broken fucking room.
Yes, but more than anything, I should have been able to detect celestials and fae, considering what Cayenne and Osling are being fae, and considering that they are also celestial in nature.
but you didn't
Now, are you
detect evil.
assuming that?
You're just assuming fiend means evil.
Not always.
Also, are you assuming that their, I guess, deity form is going to read the same way as their mortal form?
I suppose not. There's no way to really know. I just think it's odd.
I don't
If
just
Flop says
because
it's
of what I
everything's
know of
fine.
her. She is essentially a necromancy goddess, if you want to put a label on it. She's not inherently evil, but she's that split because of her position. She's split between good parts and what's considered bad parts. It's just some people that follow different religions or different deities would view her as inherently evil.
I don't think Osling is evil at all.
No, she's not.
Just wondering if whatever that was
You hear
there.
behind you. And as you guys turn around, Fox catches him.
Hey,
You okay,
Fought.
buddy?
Hello, Fat.
You okay?
Hi. Yep. Uh-huh. I got a weird summons. So you seem to be going the same direction.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't think it didn't specifically indicate you in our summon, so figured you just needed to take a little bit of time to yourself that we didn't bother you.
I'm good. Pot's gonna sleep good tonight.
Todd, can you maybe shed some light on Scabbard's contemplations here?
What contemplations?
Did you sense the same thing in that room, Fat? There
He
was
raises an eyebrow as you're walking.
there was celestial presence, but when everything started happening, there was also a fiendish presence as well.
That would probably just be Osling in general. She's not exactly the most upbeat deity. Oh. He's like, oh, now I got a new one to worship.
She's also changed.
Yeah. You didn't have to go and cut off two of her legs.
I did not do that. When I found her in her realm after having my aunt Cecil help me open a cast iron gate that was locked, that was never locked any other time I had been there. Osling was
Oh,
already in
good.
her true form.
Hmm.
So does this mean that you, as you are, is not actually your own true form, Kyan?
We'll have to see. I mean, the tribal elder did say that my blood is tainted by the sins of my mother and father, and only by my
Rebirth, yeah.
rebirth will I be cleansed. So, take that as you will.
Can we not do that right now if Fat's a little tired?
Yeah, I think this would happen way later on in the future anyway, Fought.
Same time next week. Got it.
Same time tomorrow.
So you guys head out of actually head down towards the ocean area, the docks, places you're not usually down to, in the lower section. Cayenne is familiar with this area because you guys go past Goblin Row because it's in the lowers, and then you head towards the dock area and you head off towards a more other side, and eventually you do come to the area, and you head over there, and you see that Ace and Noodle and Leaf and a few others are there that you've never met.
Okay.
And they've essentially made a Viking raft to send off Snake Chain.
Oh, okay, cool.
And Fod's like, oh, that's why Fod's here.
It's a
Go to
funeral,
Noodle
right?
and leave.
Go from heavy to heavier.
Literally. Chunk of metal. Kind of heavy. I'll go over to Ace. Kind of offer the uppies to, give him a hug.
He lifts you up and squeezes you, and you can hear ribs pop. Pops your back where it's been sore a little bit.
Okay, thanks. You doing okay, buddy?
Sets you down, and he's like,
No, I'm sorry.
Go over to Noodle and leave. Check in on them.
they're both kind of feeling it. And you can see several empty bottles of some sort of alcohol they've all been drinking. And you see, oh my god, it's such an Easter egg. You see that Ace has been drinking organic oil.
Yes.
No, we're not going to start singing that song here because we don't want the depression to hit the ground like a crater.
So what do you want? What do you want us to do, buddy?
He signs to you, and that pay your respects for the deeds that this person did for you, and wish them well in the afterlife.
Yeah, a little bit of a eulogy.
Yeah.
From each of us. Okay. I'll share my first story on how Stevie proved his worth as a brother. Remember the first time we're out in the forest, kind of being chased down by those kobolds, trapped in that room, that building, wrecked tower?
Oh God.
Remember how well Stevie held that door closed for us? If it wasn't for him, we'd all
Fucking saved our life.
yeah. If it wasn't for him, we'd all be dust. That's the first thing I remember. Then again, it could also be the fact that he was holding that case closed. That had the devil parts in it. Who knows how important that was?
The fiend in a box.
Got rid of that motherfucker.
The half fiend in a box, actually.
Fox face.
That's my first thing I remember of Stevie. Before we knew him as Stevie. We need to do better at verifying if our things are just things, I think. I feel real bad about that. Next time, I recall him helping us. Oh, against the goose.
Fucking goose.
Stevie just kept that thing tied down. It was amazing. Without that monstrosity being distracted by Stevie, our gooses would have been cooked.
Easily.
Feisty wouldn't be here either.
Oh yeah? What's that story?
The goose.
Oh yeah. The goose in general. Yeah.
Kind of start fiddling with my wand due to the core.
I think
Cayenne doesn't really have anything that she can add to this, as she didn't do much with Snake Chain / Stevie. She just kind of observed.
yeah.
She's not as connected with him, just like she wasn't as connected with old Meadrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was more like Nikolai.
Then most recently, our fight against that vessel wasn't for yeah. Oh, sorry, buddy.
Fucking did everything he could.
It's a tummy ache for Mongo.
He did everything he could, and then he came back to us quicker than expected.
Yeah. He kept that thing distracted, tied down, probably keeping it from using full power of their semantics.
Yeah.
That
You got
little boy
anything?
has saved us so many times.
You got anything to add?
Go ahead and but you mind
Oh,
helping in
sorry.
this?
What will help?
I'm gonna go ahead and begin the rite of ceremony, funeral rites,
I think
and
Cayenne's only gonna say one thing once Scav gets done talking.
we begin to trace the sigil of Papa and the sigil of Bahamut upon the boat there. And Father of Dragons and King of Kings, grant safe journey to the Vale beyond for this brave and honorable soul. Grant them safe passage into the realm of the lost children. And let your scales be their shield, and let your fire light their way.
As you're standing there waiting for Scab to finish, you feel massive murder mittens on your shoulders, and you realize Feisty is standing with you.
Probably would have scared me for a little bit, like, oh god. Oh. After what Cayenne just did earlier, I think that reaction's warranted. It's like what you see in like literally any anime where you just see the squiggles like like the animated cold chill. She's like, no. I was like, don't come back to kill me, please. I've already died once.
Feisty goes over and puts a trinket on the boat, and then walks away from it.
Anything, brother?
Cayenne's just gonna say, although I didn't really know you in as well as Nikolai and Scav did, I appreciate everything that you've done for this family, Stevie. Without you, there's no telling where any of us would have ended up. And I can only hope that you find peace and happiness in the afterlife as your true self, free of any burden, free of any confinement. Thank you, Stevie.
Do a religion for me. You specifically.
Pick up some of the soil, whisper that last rite in, cast
My-
it upon the boat.
My heart was in my ass just now because I thought I almost rolled a 1. It was about to stop on the 1. I was like, no, please no.
You just
I got a
threatened
6.
the hell.
Exactly. I got a 16 though. We're good. Crisis subverted. I got a 16. Fuck.
Cayenne, with your tie to things beyond what people can see, as the funeral rites are happening and the somber mood is here, you think for a few moments, and as Scabbard mentions the name Papa, you feel something just kind of like, almost like a spider sense, I guess. You're Peter Tingle.
He said that.
So terrible.
Pretty great.
Not okay.
Pretty good.
You would be able to share, if you would like to, that Papa has buried Stevie to the afterlife, to the forever beyond, essentially.
That's heartwarming. Worming?
Worming.
Heartwarming. That is heartwarming. I can't English all of a sudden. That makes me happy.
Getting mine as I could from my understanding of how the pallbearers are to lift the raft.
And do a tinkering for me.
$15.
The raft is built wonderfully, and you see that there's a powder on this raft, and you're like, oh shit! This is like almost like a concentrated thermite that will just disintegrate Stevie's corpse once it catches.
I look over, I guess, sign to Ace. How are we going to light
He motions over to the bow and crossbow, or the bow and arrow.
Do I hear this?
it? Want to use that?
He's with sign languaging.
Do I notice?
Perception?
Do you want to? Do we want to do it that way, or should we all do it?
He motioned the tradition.
Okay.
24.
Yeah, you notice.
Make my way over. Hand the wand of fireball.
Oh my god! Oh, all right.
He wants to use it. It's available.
Spot looks over. Scav, you might want to go tell the guard.
I'll be on it.
It's going to
I'll
be
give,
explosion. It's okay.
Give Ace a little pat on the back. Well, attempt to. He's pretty damn tall now since he got his
Yeah.
new form. So give him a little pat on the side.
Pat the back of his calf.
We'll see you. I'll see you back at home, bud. Make my way to the guard.
Yeah.
Just let him know. Hey, there's a funeral happening. There may be a small explosion.
You basically have
small.
you basically have thermite mixed with TNT.
Do not worry. It'll be out in the water, away from everything, over by the dock section. Just heads up.
Meanwhile, a kid in Midtown. Mom, why is it raining black ash?
So
So
going big or going home is for amateurs.
you're
you
able to get to
or
the guard, and the
the
guard looks
and.
over at you as you come up, and they're all bundled up because of the cold, and you can tell they're an orc. Huh?
Probably still wearing my regal attire from our meeting with Kippa. So.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Sir?
No worries. Nothing of the sort or bad or anything. Just wanted to let you know there is a funeral happening. A traditional trial by fire above water. There may be a small explosion over by the docks. Just wanted to make sure that you and the guard know, of course, that way no misunderstandings happen.
Reaches in his pocket of his jacket, pulls out a scroll, sends it off. Goes off to the next guard and just goes along the line, essentially.
That'll be all. Have a great day.
All right.
Head right back down.
Adjusts his shield in the snow and goes back to sitting here. Weirder and weirder. Oh,
Yeah, I can only imagine the fucking rumors going around from the guards that have seen, like, just a little bit of the kind of shit we get into.
Whenever it involves these five, some shit gets fucked up.
it's always you, kid.
It's always
Why
me.
is it when something happens, it is always you five?
No, it's always you three.
That is only quasi-accurate, damn it.
So, you're able to help Ace and send it off, and you watch the raft go out.
Yeah, I'm going to imbue Ace's crossbow, if it's not already magical, with the +1. And give him True Strike.
Ace goes over, and he's like, it's a bow and arrow, it's not a crossbow.
Okay.
And he ties the wand onto the end.
Okay, I was gonna let him just borrow that. To...
I'm pretty sure once he uses its final use, it's done, bud.
All right.
And he pulls it back. Like, closes it, puts a scar in his mouth, snaps his thumb and lights it. Games. And so waits for it to go out a bit of a distance. Well, just sitting there like a statue.
Obviously, I'm not gonna make it back in time, so I'll just watch from the docks.
Probably the safest spot.
Where the away from there, but where the guards can basically see as well.
And you see the wand is there, and you see the runes are lit up on the wand. And he fires it off, and it arches in the air. And you see it just come down, and you think he missed at first, and then the explosion hits, and the wind, because the wind goes past you guys.
Hi, Davey.
As you see the water just waves from the explosion go off.
So, how much fish rise up from the surface from that? How well fed will this thing be tonight with this last hurrah of Stevie's?
Probably pretty well. The rest of them are not happy. You see this cayenne, and this sudden explosion probably makes you jolt.
Yep. Anything that is loud and booming, anything that makes any loud noise is an absolute no.
You are not going to be happy with Mongo and Humphrey.
You're gonna start doing some pyrotechnics now too.
Worst.
So,
I'm sure
With-
Humphrey knows a appropriate sea shanty.
he starts singing the sea shanty of "Raise Your Sail."
Joining in, getting everybody going.
With Scabbard eventually making his way back, and everybody, you hear the people singing on the shoreline. This song, and a lot of heavy moments on the back end of this episode.
Yeah. Cayenne's ready for sleep at this point. She's done. She can't handle anything else. And if anyone screws with anything and causes another heavy moment, I'm sending whoever causes it to the afterlife.
So you guys eventually take your moment there, and eventually find your guys' way back to the shared house to get some much needed rest after the last 2 days, 3 days even.
Yeah.
Your stomach's grumbling for food, and heading through the door, you just suddenly smell the dinner that has been prepared for you guys. And Sunny's like, ta-da!
And we're hugging the Sunny.
Yep. Sonny's getting pick up hug.
This is probably a group family hug.
This is the family home or
The family home, yeah. The one where Maggie stays.
Speaking of which,
city
where
home.
is
Family home
he
is what I meant.
actually?
He's there. You see him with he's very meticulous. You see one of the first odd things about Maggie, and he's like sitting there, and he looks like he's looking at a chessboard, but he's actually looking at a snack plate, and he has another one exactly next to it. He kind of rearranges them on the other one. He's like, and then he moves them to the other one in a different arrangement. He's like,
Approach him. Having fun there?
It's like, I'm trying to find the ideal placements of these.
I think Nikolai and Mongo have something important to tell you regarding to an old friend.
Okay. And so you're able to take Maggie aside, and
share him the story.
he just sits there absolutely quiet with his hands in his lap.
Yeah.
Let it be known that he did have one final good hurrah, and the city will feed really well tonight. Plenty of fish.
Pre-cooked.
Pre-cooked.
I
Yeah,
mean,
once,
for a
Nikolai-
brief second, if you were paying attention, you saw a circular crater in the water.
It's another crater we've left.
So with that, you guys are able to get food. Maggie just sits in a chair and quiet, not really moving.
Once Nikolai is done telling him what happened,
I'll make sure to let him know that apparently when he was set to a task, he would just go dormant. So he wasn't suffering, sitting, holding that crate together. He was just asleep.
tell him how fucking epic Ace looked. Go off about to send off. How big the fucking mushroom cloud was.
Diane was not a fan.
Ask Maggie if he has any good stories to share about his memories of the snake chain.
Could be a few kicking around, but I'll get into that next episode.
Okay.
Your sister comes in, and she's like, "There was an explosion down on the waterfront, and I wasn't invited. And I'm pretty sure it's one of you that did it."
At Ace.
You know, it'd be a really appropriate song for the situation. The Ashes.
Ace, Ace decided that the best way to intern snake chain is by a burial at sea. Or Stevie.
Oh my god. That's a song that would be appropriate for Snake Chain right now.
What?
Flogging Molly if I ever leave this world.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell, that's just this campaign in general.
Yeah. Ace decided that it would be best to turn Stevie to the ocean.
There's nothing left of Stevie. It's just particles at this point from that.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, but that's what his body was for more times than the thing that was falling apart before.
So Kippa comes in and she's like, "I heard there's food."
Yes.
And behind you is another spook, but this one is a familiar spook. And it's Lumion. It's wrapping his arms around you gently.
I'm squeezing his arm till it almost hurts.
Hurts you or hurts him?
Him.
He doesn't even so much as show a sign.
It'll probably hurt her before it hurts him.
Yeah. Her hands will probably start aching before he feels any pain.
But yeah, he's like, "You can tell me about it later."
Oh, there's a lot to tell. But good did happen. Just stressful. Just in a stressful way.
So eventually, all the family filters in that's in the city.
Gonna need to apologize to Clay for something. Asleep and probably waking her up.
It's like,
Maybe she just needs to tie you down.
oh, wow, that escalated quickly.
We're just not gonna answer that.
Coin goes over, and she's starting to make that abomination of coffee again.
I'll try to help. Referencing Nikolai's notes. Or the notes that I made from when Nikolai made coffee.
Oddly enough, there's some coffee stains on there and a coffee rain on there.
That's appropriate.
Appropriate for the situation.
Appropriate for a recipe for coffee to have a coffee ring on it. All right.
Yeah. So, as the family gathers for an impromptu dinner, we're going to call this session there, and eventually, as the night goes on, the party members will go their separate directions to get rest for the night and prepare for the next day. The thought on your mind of, we just dealt with this, and now it's on to deal with the dryad situation. Good
And
practice
then the
roll
burning
for-
temperament.
Yep. A good practice for the realm of fire. Kinda, sorta. Enjoy the snow while you can.
Yeah.
I think the only goal for Cayenne and the burning temperament is she wants to make at least one animal friend.
A
Doesn't
fire
care what
sprite.
kind. Huh?
A fire sprite.
I'd be fine with that as long as Cayenne can make one friend in the burning temperament. I think she's good.
Or a gunpowder imp.
Yes.
That'd be interesting. Or fire method.
Yeah.
You got called out. The bigger the explosion, the better the caster. So, that is it for tonight's session. We're going to do the post-mortem. Nikolai,
Yeah.
favorite stuff from tonight?
Favorite stuff from tonight. I think you did a really freaking awesome representation on the mental anguish that
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. That was really neat. Yeah, that's my favorite thing. That's my favorite part of the session.
What about Stevie
Very
send-off?
good. Well, it was great, and it was fantastic and everything. But like, as far as like
The best part is
the best part was watching in my theater of the mind the conversations basically that Austin was having with herself as far as like what it all meant.
What about you, Scav?
I think the best part of the night was the send off of Stevie the Snake Chain. We lost a companion, a friend, the hero, and the one that basically saved our asses more times than we can count.
Guys are realizing there's going to be casualties along the way.
Yeah.
But I think he got more than a fitting send off.
What about you, Mongo?
Conversation with Kippo was a lot of fun.
Brought up some more questions.
Yeah. Everything going on in the Osling's little realm there. That was just some great storytelling. Stevie send off. That was pretty hardcore.
That's probably the highlight of the night, to be honest, was the send off.
Death metal send-off. Vikings would be proud.
Hell yeah. Godzilla would be scared.
There's the opposite of that, and I'm not going to say what it is.
Hey, we made a pretty big explosion. That's kind of our thing.
All right. What about you, Cayenne? I'm
Fucking
pretty
blow
sure you
shit
got a
up and leave
spiel here.
What do
craters.
you think, Rose? Tattoo weapon? What's the other?
Well, the first bit that was my favorite. They both tie into each other. Was essentially
was some
seeing
assholes
how
that
pissed off
he was
Osling
off
got
of her.
praying to herself. The whole scene being like a seance gone wrong, and then a horse snapping, a horse snapping during said seance. The hunt for Osling in her own realm, and getting assistance from their aunt to open the gate that was locked. That how dare you lock your sister out? Then getting to have the heart to heart with Osling, saying that she's not alone in this and finding who she truly is. She has a whole support system behind her, and
Yeah.
we're here for her. She will never be alone again.
Yeah, it just,
And
I agree with you. The whole thing about with Osmond was the most compelling of them all.
Yeah.
I did also enjoy the send off, although
Oh, yeah, for
I
sure.
don't have I as a for my character, she didn't really have much of a personal connection with Stevie slash Snake Chain. It was around the same line as Old Meadrum.
Yeah,
Didn't really have much of a connection, but knew of and
Yeah.
knew of by name, except the Stevie name. But she still respects them as an individual, and they deserve the proper send off for everything that they did for us. And it was very heart warming to see that Papa accepted taking Stevie to go rest into the forever after.
I would say Cayenne should probably share that with Nikolai because he could use that reassurance.
I mean,
Yeah, she's gonna share that with everybody, especially especially Maggie, Nikolai, Ace, Scav. Mongo would want to know too. Feisty.
Yeah, I would say it was probably shared over dinner then.
Yeah,
Leaf and
she
Noodle
would.
would also.
yeah. Well, I mean, Nikolai saw Papa usher him through.
Doesn't mean that every soul makes it though.
Yeah, true.
I think I know the perfect time of when to do that. I think that during dinner we should do a toast to Stevie,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then
yeah.
Cayenne saying that may he enjoy the rest of his days in Papa's realm.
Yeah, I mean, it's
That would be
Gavin
kind
doesn't
of her
even
way
know
of
he's
saying,
there.
"Oh yes, he's with Papa now."
Yeah, the most Scav did was made a prayer to hopefully that Bahamut would help Papa guide him through.
Oh no, when Mongo and Humphrey were starting, there was a glass in the air.
When whatchamacallit, when oh my god, long session. When Fought got yeeted.
That was nerve wracking.
Yeah. Hey,
So-
DM, what was your favorite part?
The storytelling with Osling. I
Yeah.
love really digging into the deep storytelling. That's where I like to swim a lot, and these really deep stories that connect to characters and
Yeah.
such. In a way that they just kind of find a way to like spider out and pull the other players in because everybody's at stake to some degree.
Yeah, I got a couple of questions for Alufa now.
What regarding the card?
Mm-hmm.
That was actually from Osling. Sorry.
Oh, Osling, yeah. Where the fuck did she get that?
So this storytelling is my biggest thing is presenting you with these challenges as far as story goes and watching you guys work through them. And there's going to be plenty of losses along the way.
Kept having to outright state that's like, yeah. Because certain things were revealed. Now I have to change my plans and have people executed.
Well, that's also Kippa showing her cards that isn't all just rainbows and sunshine in her job. She has to make the hard choices of, do I let these people live? Do I let these people die? Do I send people to live or die? She wears a very heavy crown.
Yeah. She doesn't even have her damn kingdom right now.
Yeah. Her kingdom's under rule by invading forces, and she can't do shit about it. So yeah, storytelling is mine. I feel like it's a bit of a cop out to say that, but that's mine.
I mean, that's always like a big part for any DM, I think, honestly. It's like if your players are having fun and you can tell a compelling story that pulls them in, you're doing
My
something
players
right.
cry a lot at the table.
Well,
I'm pretty sure if
you weren't doing good stories. So
yeah,
you
I'm sure if
effect.
Cayenne was here last session, she would have been bawling right next to Tom and Nate regarding the story about Stevie.
Yeah, probably.
Potentially.
Potentially.
Or punching one
I
of us
just-
and telling us to man up.
Oh,
Can you tell which ones are more emotionally charged? Don't get me wrong, it's pretty sad, but man,
the one that would ruin Cayenne without a doubt. It would be between the birds, Bellis, and Feisty. Osling is a without a doubt if she was gone. This one is no longer a good deity ever.
I just traded in
That
the
good
halo for horns.
she traded in the peace lily for a scythe. And guess who's gonna paint it with rubies?
The humor is a good one too. We have
Mhm.
a very just chill table. So yeah, that's mine. The storytelling, the deep rooted storytelling. That I love stories.
Seeing Thought handle a situation that he was out of his comfort zone.
Yeah.
I was rolling dice over here for his nerves.
Did the guy or not? Did the enhance ability help?
Oh yes, it did.
Oh, sweet. Given an advantage on his wisdom.
did that heroism help?
At one point, for right after you had used that, I made a dice roll and it was a 1. Then the second one went up to a 12.
Oh, nice.
So yes, it helped.
Did the heroism help Alufa?
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, granted, her significant other is basically non-existent, and one of her closest friends / family members is fucking bleeding out over painting the floor crimson. So she was not in a happy place. But that's it for me. Getting another mystery card to you.
Yep.
Yeah, you want to know the story tied to that card.
Well, duh.
Spirit Guardian. It's a good one.
Mhm.
It's definitely a good spell.
So with that, we're going to close the doors to the tavern.
Spirit Guardian and Spirit Shroud are my favorite.
We will be off next week, and we will be back the following week after that. Say good night, everyone.
Night, everybody.
Night, everybody.
Bye.
Join our
Good night.
Discord. Like, comment,
Yeah.
subscribe. Share us with friends, family,
We
and
share
others.
a lot of stuff on the Discord. Have a good night.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Sleep tight.